Hi, welcome to the Masks of Nyarlathotep campaign here at Immortals, Inc. I'm John, the Game Master of the group, and let's go ahead and introduce everybody before we get started.
I'm Diana. My character is Rose LaCroix.
I'm Hugh Delury. I'm playing Declan Steele, private investigator.
Nate Owen, Father Cecil Sullivan, Jesuit priest.
Hi, my name is Brock. I'm playing Alexander Stewart, the doctor, professor.
Tom Allman, I'm playing Mustafa Ali. He's an adjunct professor at Miskatonic and at Antiquarian.
And my name's Richard McGuire, and I'm playing a hobo named Sanders.
And we're back up to a full 6 players at the table again this week after a couple of eventful weeks for Diana and Brock. So can I get the 4 of you who have been here to toss me a 6-sider to see who gets to recap? Go ahead, Hugh and Tom, roll off, please.
6. 5.
Tom, tell us about last time.
Okay, that was session 10. We figured out how to ameliorate the situation of the unfortunate murder of Mr. Shipley and his dear mother, Mrs. Shipley.
Wasn't unfortunate. It was justified.
We didn't necessarily kill her. She was dead before we got there.
Okay. I mean, lizard people are people too.
They were lizard people?
No, they were certain
No, just him. Or just her, rather.
Lizard lives matter. We found out that there is some sort of cabal coming up with the Brotherhood of the Black Pharaoh. It's on the 10th.
So, and we're still in London, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's only been a day.
We had just gotten to London last time.
and we almost left
I
without
played.
them.
Yeah.
We've been here for a few days, and the last 2 sessions have just been like 8 hours, 10 hours or something like that.
We also found out that Mr. Gavignon is the head of the Brotherhood of the Black Pharaoh.
And how did you find that out?
There was we got attacked by cultists
After.
after we went to the Blue Pyramid.
Right.
And I met Zara and fell in love, and then found out she was a
Spice Girl.
filthy murderer, which kind of makes her a little bit hotter. To be
Who'd she murder?
honest, a bunch of people.
22 Egyptians and then possibly us.
Was it because Egyptians are bad and we were bad, or was it because she's bad?
Well, we don't know.
Those
Well,
aren't
she's
mutually
bad.
exclusive.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right, she's bad, and quite honestly, we're some filthy murder hobos.
And more
But-
importantly, evil characters never lie.
Right. So, there's a truck leaving at midnight for Egypt House, and there's going to be some beast riding and some fun stuff like that.
Yeah.
When is that? It's not this midnight, though.
No,
No,
it's
it's
the
the
10th, which
Okay.
is
In
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days.
And if memory serves, you guys are in a dive hotel.
Yep.
When we last left
I don't
our
know if
heroes.
it was a dive. I thought it was different.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it was a dive because you carried a
Unconscious woman.
Oh, okay. We got like 3 hotels going at any one time.
a
We
lot
got-
happened.
You guys
a
missed a
lot.
party. That's all I'm gonna say.
and-
So wait,
Sounds like it.
We're all almost dead.
this
at
is
the
not
moment.
linear at all.
We're like
Okay.
we're like
We got-
half
we got-
naked, drunk. There's a fucking passed out chick and
I'm actually more confused than before we
Okay.
started the recap.
I mean, I remember being
So-
at a festival.
Right, so you went to the festival
Uh,
and came back. And the next morning, I believe you went and visited Mahoney
And
and first you went to
Barrington.
Mahoney and you got some newspaper articles.
that's right.
And then you went to Barrington.
Barrington was Scotland Yard, right?
Barrington
right.
was Scotland Yard.
Okay.
And when you talked to Barrington, he mentioned that he was working on the Egyptian murders.
That's right.
Right.
So we sort of
You kind of
mentioned-
volunteered that you were going to help him with that.
That's right. And then
And-
session 9 happened.
Right. In the next session, they decided to follow up a couple of the leads from the newspaper. One of the leads from the newspaper articles,
Which was the Shipley,
which was Shipley, the artist.
the artist.
They went and visited the artist.
Yep.
And by this point, because it has always worked so well, they split the party to
Right.
visit the artist.
Yes.
Right. Samus and Sully
yeah.
went to go visit the artist. And while they were visiting the artist, they found out that he was, can we
Batshit
diplomatically
crazy.
say a little off?
Yeah, I
A
was
little
just going to say batshit crazy.
Yeah, that could be accurate too. And they might have gotten sucked into a painting that transported them millions of years into the past.
Okay.
No big deal, though.
Because they managed to escape just by praying to the dread dark gods, right?
Yes.
Which is something our good Jesuit priest here has been doing for
Secretly.
15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So you're worshiping other gods before.
You just had to conjure up Nyarlathotep just to kind of escape the pain.
I'm not judging. It's just interesting.
Yeah.
He hasn't come to terms with the gesture.
So they came out of the painting, and as they did, Shipley's mom charged them. And again, our good Jesuit priest blew her away.
Only after she peeled her face off
Like-
to
like-
reveal
Like a 1980s V episode.
Yeah,
Pretty much, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. And then after shooting her, he shot the artist in the back who was fleeing from them running down the stairs.
Yes.
Okay.
No, just
He was
normal
not a
day.
serpent, though, correct?
No.
No,
He didn't try and peel his face off?
No, but it did suck us into a painting, so.
That's fair.
So clearly he was evil.
Okay.
While they were doing that, Declan and Mustafa were meeting with Barrington, right?
Yeah,
he's
he's super
Barrington.
cool.
And then we
And then you tried to go to lunch at the Blue Pyramid only to find out it wasn't open.
Okay.
well, we did become members. And then in the meantime, we went to the spice shop, which is right next door and across the alley,
Okay.
which is Egyptian spices and whatnot. And that's where we first met Zahara.
Okay.
And Zahara is this very attractive and very well-off Egyptian woman in Soho, and I don't know
Okay.
what that means exactly, but I guess for a woman in Soho, she's doing very well.
She owns Empire Spices.
Gotcha.
So I let Mustafa and her talk, and they babbled I don't know what, and I was just snooping around, sniffing spices. And I guess pretty much then we had to figure out what we were going to do with the corpse of the painter
And the mom.
and the mom.
Well, first you had to track down.
Yeah, we had to track
two
down
friends,
everybody.
right, track them
Hours
down.
had passed. We were
Yeah.
supposed to all meet together. They never showed. So we backtracked to where they were. I did, I should say. To find out that they had actually escaped the house and to tell us the insane story about what had happened. But we left the driver at the facility, at the guy's house. And so everyone, they were afraid that if anything were to happen, that the driver would be able to pinpoint them as being the last people in that house. So we came up with a plan to figure out a way to either dispose of the body or to have Barrington go to the estate to sort of introduce him to the Cthulhu mythos. That was the sort of initial idea, right? Because we sort of hinted to him that there's some weird shit going on, particularly that there was a connection between the New York stuff and stuff that we thought was going on in London, but he didn't really believe that there was any kind of connection. So
In the end, we did nothing.
yeah, pretty much. All this
We spent 45 minutes with an
Just-
elaborate plan.
It was a
but
huge
nothing
plan.
happened.
Nothing really happened, and instead we just left the body alone. We told the driver to go home. We walked out, and
But
Talk to the cops.
when you checked the mom's body, that was kind of
right,
notable.
she was gone,
There's
completely
just the skin left over
100%
from
gone.
the woman that she was inhabiting.
Yes.
So she may be back alive then.
Who knows?
Or she disappeared like a lot of mythos creatures tend to do when they die.
Okay.
And
So-
do you want to mention what you found in the basement?
A secret room that probably had some type of acid or some sort that could dissolve body parts and
That's
stuff.
convenient.
And a bunch of jars with alien markings that we couldn't
We
read.
couldn't read any of them. Stuff that was inside that we couldn't read them or know what they were. Nobody had biology because they weren't with us.
I caught a virus on the ship.
Yeah.
So yeah, we sort of like left that alone, and then
And then it got even more interesting.
Yeah,
We decided to go to actually eat.
at the Blue Pyramid. So
He-
we all calmed down, took a shower, wiped the filth of the day off.
And then I got beat to death almost.
Pretty much. We went to the Blue
You and I
Pyramids. We saw Zahara there. We were also approached by a dancer there that said that she had information about who was following us, which was pretty interesting. 'cause
As
we-
Mustafa mentioned, he flirted with Zahara. for a
Zahara,
bit.
yeah, Zahara, yep. And then we were pretty much just gonna go back home. Or actually, we were gonna stick around to meet the dancer who wanted to meet us at midnight, so she could talk to us about
Once she got off her shift.
once she got off her shift, why people, who they were, why they were following us, and all that. So we did find out that right after that, we pretty much left. We were gonna sort of like leave incognito, and we were followed.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately attacked by 4 cultists
Okay.
that were going to bash our brains in with cudgels with spikes in it, the same kind of weapon that was used in the murder of the other 28 Egyptians, or 17 Egyptians and 3 other Londoners. We took them all out, with the exception of one woman that we knocked out. And then, we just kind of like dragged her into some seedy hotel so we can interrogate her, which Mustafa interrogated her very well, mind you. We got a whole bunch of information about the Brotherhood and about who the leadership was. Zahara is not the leader; she is the second in command. And that's when we also discovered that Gavignon is probably the head priest or whatever.
And who's Cavion?
Gavignon is the
Gavignon.
It's the guy we have having tea with.
we're having tea with tomorrow.
Okay.
He is the head of the Pennu Foundation.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, and also sent the original people on their quest, right?
That's right.
No, Sir Henry did.
Yeah.
But Gavin
Henry.
was probably.
Audrey. Andrew?
Sir Audrey.
Audrey,
Penhew.
yeah.
Aubrey.
Penhew.
Pennu, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So he went on the expedition.
He went on the Carlisle
Were they
expedition,
related?
and Edward Gavignon was the person who took over running the foundation while
That's where the connection
Sir Aubrey
was.
was
Yeah.
gone.
Okay.
That's right. That's right.
So
And
right now we basically have a prisoner,
We have a prisoner?
and we have a syringe with green stuff in it that we don't know what it does.
Yeah.
My suggestion was we inject a girl and see what happens.
I'm a little hesitant.
We're debating
Okay.
right now if we should just throw this woman into the river.
Yes, that is what so yeah, I think the scene ended with us in the hotel trying to figure out what to do.
It's probably about
with this
2 in the morning by this point.
Yeah. We're pretty beat up. At least I am. I know
He
you are.
is. I'm wounded a little.
So we just kind of hung out between then and there.
You guys are probably back at your original hotel because you had been taking care of some other things around town, visiting a couple museums, looking into some things.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good wording, original hotel, because we did also get another hotel
Okay.
when we thought that there was going to be a problem because of what they did. But it's actually a really good idea, I think, to have a secondary hotel that hopefully nobody else really knows about.
Okay.
It's not paranoid.
So it's like one for the
Yeah.
slums and
Actually,
one for the Upper
a
East Side
better
West.
idea
Yes.
would to be to stop getting in trouble to the point that we need a second
That's crazy
answer
talk.
hotel.
That's crazy talk.
Stop thinking that way.
Well, we have
We're
emergency.
here to root out cultists.
didn't
We're
you
getting loads
have
of trouble.
emergency
So
tickets for leaving England? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did buy the emergency passage to
Also, I think that everybody should. What might be helpful is if we all had aliases that, like, we know. Like, actually, we probably need like 3 aliases. That way, like.
We can go to 3 different towns, scoop up everything there, and nobody would know. who
Right,
we
but
are.
I mean, like, if we don't know what hotel you guys went to after, you killed Miss Marple, or I stabbed Virgil somebody in the eye, then we can ask at a hotel and say, "Oh, is Mr. Jenkins?
Mr. I didn't stab anyone here.
Is Mr. Leroy Jenkins staying at this hotel?" And you're like, "Oh, yeah,
Leroy Jenkins.
yeah." Just a thought.
yeah, so here we are in the hotel.
Are you perhaps going to send a runner to retrieve? Perhaps you sent a runner to have Rose and Alexander meet you at this hotel?
We're keeping the gun.
I think we should not.
I don't think we should either. Just to kind of keep them
maybe
Keep
out.
their
this-
hands clean.
Yeah.
Maybe the second hotel, not the third.
Cool.
crappy hotel.
Just let me know when you guys need me. I'll be there in the morning for the meeting.
I think we're gonna dump this lady.
Yeah, I mean,
Let her ascend into the Thames, and
we could always we can call the cops. And
I think we should get Harrington involved. Honestly, we've
I
got.
think it's important that we
time.
somehow get him involved. I don't know. The fact that there are 3 dead bodies on the street corner might mean that because there's corpses, he might be involved. But I don't know what his. I don't know if he's. I don't know.
Well, they also were in possession of the exact murder weapon from
Yeah,
these crimes.
that's exactly right. So I think that's
how do
sort
you
of like the
propose
letter.
doing that though?
Hmm?
How do you propose we do that though?
Do what?
If we want to get you involved.
Well, we can give him.
We have a pretty decent relationship with him. We're not
really.
BFFs.
Do we
But
know
I
that?
mean,
Are we sure
he
that
didn't
he's
throw
not?
us out or
I
into
think he's
jail.
trustworthy.
Okay, he's not part of the crooked cops in the London division.
I don't think so.
Okay.
He could be. We don't know that
Yeah.
much about him.
The fact that Jackson Elias went to visit him.
And he didn't ask us for money. Since he was like, okay.
That's fair.
So I think the fact that we have details about the bodies that we left in the corner that we can use to sort of coax him into.
Also, we have a live
analyze
cultist that
cultists.
we could dangle in front of him.
Yeah, that's
also.
right. And I think that's why we should call the cops with a letter or something and say, Barrington, we have evidence, we have someone alive that knows about these murders. She's in this hotel. And those 3 bodies that were found on the street of Soho last night were other cultists. Maybe.
I don't think that he's going to get any
In all honesty,
more information out of her than I already got.
Yeah.
I'm going to say I'll let you guys handle this issue because I need to get some sleep at least a little bit because I am barely standing up right
That's a good idea. Well, maybe you should go to the second hotel.
Or maybe I'll spend the night in the hospital. That sounds like a plan.
You can go that. Yeah, you probably
now.
should
That'd
go
be a
to
good
the
idea. Hospital's a good place to go right now.
Yeah.
Considering
I
we're
can-
bleeding and stuff.
I think I'm relatively well rested, so I can stay and watch the prisoner, or a guest, and maybe you guys can track down our other 2 party members and fill them in on what's going on, and then I can write up what she told me, and then we've got. Is it tomorrow that we're going to see him, or
Yeah,
next?
but it's not till the evening or afternoon. 3 in the afternoon is when we're going to see this guy,
Okay.
the leader of the cult.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do with that. We can either
Well,
they're already trying to kill us.
Well, the premise that
But
we're
he
meeting,
doesn't know what
he,
we know.
he might not know that we know. The premise of us meeting him, though, is we dangled the whole. We want to find out more about
The Carlisle
Carlisle
expedition.
expedition. That we weren't altruistic in him. That we weren't looking to make money off of it. We just wanted to know a little more information.
And we still haven't talked to him yet.
No.
We just talked to his.
It's quite possible we're going to walk into a trap.
I think that what we know now is that the Penhue Foundation is dirty AF.
Mm-hmm.
They set up Carlisle. Maybe we could be talking about this at a meeting. They set up Carlisle, and
Well, why don't we save that for the morning after meeting?
okay.
So you're going to leave this woman tied up overnight in the hotel room?
No, she's not tied up.
I think we should tie her up.
She's
leave
wrapped in a
leave her-
blanket like a burrito, so she can't move, and I have her blindfolded, and
Tie her up, then.
We should tie her up.
What's
and then-
preventing her from taking the burrito and the blindfold off?
it's a good burrito. I mean, she's tied. She's not going anywhere.
Okay.
So she's tied up.
She's tied up.
Like in a straight jacket tied up. But I don't think we should murder her. But I think we should dangle her in front of.
Yeah, we're not gonna. We've decided already. I thought you guys were gonna do the whole talk to the cop thing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah. Samus and I are out. You guys,
I
whatever
don't
you're gonna do
think
with
we're
that lady, you guys do. We're going to
You're going to the hospital?
hospital, and from the hospital we will send a telegraph or whatever to our original hotel. To
You send a courier.
yes, to be like, hey, we're okay. We all need to talk tomorrow. A.M. breakfast. Yada yada. So we're all together.
Probably room service. I don't know where we're going.
I just get it when I wake up, right?
Yeah. Sully and Samus, you each get up to 5 health back. I don't know if that takes you to your maximum or not.
Nope.
Alright, well you do get 5 health
I'm
back.
not in the minuses anymore.
Well, that's progress. But you do spend the night in the hotel.
Hospital.
Alright, hospital, yes.
Is anyone not hurt? I'm down 1, 2, 3.
Declan, where were you going?
I'm not hurt.
I'm not hurt.
You. Where was Declan?
Back to the hotel.
Okay, so you weren't spending the night.
I'm not spending the night here. No.
So you're alone with a cultist. Alright.
She's tied up though.
Sure she is.
She's tied. She's tied up in a series of.
And what did you plan on doing with her?
Well, I think we should dangle her in front of Harrington.
I don't necessarily want to be arrested, so I was just gonna leave a note or a message for him to go to this location, and what might entice him to go is the fact that we know about the 3 bodies, and
So you rent a truck,
no.
you put a note on her,
So,
and
can
you dump her out.
Mustafa, can you give me a preparedness roll?
Oh well, that makes a lot more sense.
Because if we're there, he might just arrest us, and I'd just rather not be there.
Yeah, we're gonna have to tell him what's going on anyway.
Yeah, we could tell him with a message. Not necessarily in person right now. Not until he comes to.
Keeping it anonymous is a good thing.
Yeah.
Anonymous tips are just as good as you being there.
I don't know about that.
Alright, so tell me what you do. Tell me what you're doing before you make that roll.
I'm tying this lady up so she can't get out, and I'm gagging her and blindfolding her.
And then in the
I'm gonna
bed,
try and-
in the hotel room.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
And you're planning on sleeping there with her tied up. Just want to make sure I know what you're doing.
This is not the first time this has happened. So,
Alright, so yeah, give me that preparedness roll. Are you spending points?
I am now. I'm gonna spend 1.
Okay.
5.
Okay. Alright, so Sully's at the hospital. Declan's at the hotel. Rose is at the hotel. Samus is at the hospital.
I'm in my hotel room until the
And
morning.
you're at the hotel.
Get up and go to breakfast.
Alright. Next morning at breakfast, everyone shows up except for Mustafa.
Knew that was going to happen for some reason.
So, everything that you've been hearing is the story that we tell you guys.
What did I miss?
Well, you guys are at the museums. This is what went down in London.
So, okay, a couple questions. One, can we go back to the house and look at the acid-filled basement?
First off, Mustafa's not there, and that's troubling.
Isn't he? Did you see he was watching Prisoner?
I think.
So we should go find Mustafa first and then figure out the rest of
Yes.
this. Okay, let's do that.
I don't like splitting up anymore.
If you remember, I've been against it from day one. I missed 2 weeks, and you guys did nothing but that. So I'm kind of the no splitting up guy. If
Yeah.
you. All right, let's go find Mustafa.
Alright. It was a lovely breakfast. You all feel invigorated. Good cup of tea. Solid English food. Good beans. Good sausage. Good mushrooms. And you head to the Dive Hotel. You probably still have a key. I'm guessing you guys got 2 keys.
Mm-hmm.
Do you knock before you open the door?
No.
Okay. You unlock the door. You enter the room. Mustafa is tied down on the bed with the lower part of his body cut open. He's not dead,
What?
but he's in a lot of hurt. His intestines are not inside his body where they normally should be.
Really?
Yeah.
What would have happened if you rolled a 1?
Oh my god.
Go ahead and give me stability rolls, everybody. It's a little unsettling to see your friend
I'll
like
spend a
this.
point.
For
I
some
don't
reason, I'm
mind.
fine with this.
I got a 4.
I got a 4.
Mustafa, go ahead and take your health down to 0.
I don't have a medicine. Does anybody have a medicine skill?
Fuck all you guys.
I do have first aid, which I will quickly run over to try and administer.
Yeah, first aid I have, I guess.
He's spending a point.
I will spend it.
Wow.
That
Make
escalated
sure I have-
quickly.
Yeah.
You used all your points yesterday.
Next time I'm going to the Waffle House.
Is that a regular? General.
Let's try and.
Does Rose have
Yeah, 1
medicine?
point to
So
spend.
how do I do this when I do have to spend the stability point?
got a
Like,
3
right
on that.
next
All
to
right.
here?
You get 3 point health back.
You spent a point.
And
to-
are his intestines back in his body?
Yeah.
Or do I have to take it off
His
here?
intestines,
Like, that's
you
my
basically
stability.
shoved his
That's your
intestines
stability.
back in.
So I
Right.
just
Feel-
do it here.
Yeah, we got to get him to a hospital.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, actually.
You're unconscious,
sort of
probably.
taken
What,
from the
what
same
happened to you, dude? Or,
You woke up like that.
stability.
My fucking kidney's gone.
yeah, that's a
Point.
bathtub with
What the
fuck?
ice.
What the fuck does it look like happening?
I want to search
So don't worry about this
Sure.
over here as long as I keep track of this.
The window's
That's right.
open.
Okay.
that.
And then what were you asking me?
What's that?
Do you have medicine?
Out the window, any kind of...
There is a sheet
I have
dangling
2.
from the
Medicine.
window.
Hey, we have a medicine
Looks
person
like somebody climbed down it. All right. Go ahead and give me a medicine roll if you're going to help Mustafa.
How long does it look
And
like
you can
he's
spend
been
it
up
on
like
right
this
up-
for a while?
And
Do
is
you have
it-
medicine?
What is it again?
I have no idea.
Medicine.
Sorry, spend one.
You can spend a point, or you can spend up to 2 points if you want.
I guess I'll spend a point.
Hold on. You have medicine
Sure, I
as
tried
a
to.
investigative skill, right?
Mm.
I'm looking. Oh yeah, that's an investigative skill. So you don't need to make a die roll. You spend a point. You're going to get 4 more points of health back as Rose quickly patches you back together.
My
And
hands.
Rose, you pick up that this happened probably 6-7 hours ago.
Okay,
Oh my
so
God.
she's long gone.
So like I left, and this happened like right after I left.
Thanks.
You were the guys who wanted to keep her
I
there.
didn't want it. I wanted to get the hell home. Oh, right.
Hey, can I go to the hospital, please?
Yeah, we're going to take you there right now.
Thanks.
Let's
Yeah.
all go to the hospital.
Yes. Actually,
I would like to not have to.
Do you
walk.
even know what happened? Was you sleeping?
I don't know.
You fell asleep and woke up like this.
Well, I was wounded.
You were
and
wounded.
These,
So
and these bastards left me.
yeah, abandoned you.
Yeah. With a cultist.
Right.
Wow.
That's alright.
I believe before we
That's
left, we're
what
like,
friends are
you
for."
guys should take care of this. We need to go to a hospital because we're barely standing. And you're like, all right, we'll take care of this. I'm out.
And you kept saying you didn't tie her up.
No, I did. I
Like
did
10
tie her
times
up.
he said, is she tied up? And
I
you're like,
wrapped
no.
her up in a blanket and then I tied her with sheep shank and
You see what good that did?
I want to look around for any kind of clues
No more
to see
sheep
if
shake.
anybody else came in or if this was all
I
her.
was in the Navy. I know
You
how
do
to
not
tie
see
all
any
kinds of-
compelling evidence that anyone else came in.
Where'd you get the blade?
Well, you know, cultists do have
Um,
knives.
So your sword cane is missing.
There it is.
Do we see
Bitch.
anything from her, like
That's the
blood or-
last straw.
Now they're dead. All of them.
She did it with his sword cane.
Yeah.
Niedermeyer.
Okay.
I was so nice to her too. I should have. I'm gonna start shanking these people now.
I mean, if you can't trust a cultist, who's going to trust?
I know. Fucking cultists.
All right. Well, go to the hospital.
All right.
Are we going to wait for you guys to get better? Like, what's the game plan?
Well, it all depends. We want to meet Gamaniel, which means
They have to be in the
we don't have to. We
Well,
can stand him up.
We should.
Alright,
Now who is he?
the lady who just gutted our
Sounds
Friends of
friend
the 10U Foundation.
happens to be
Okay.
a cultist to the cult that he is the head honcho of.
Well, they don't.
We don't think that he knows that we know.
Sure as hell does now.
This cultist here that just left?
Yes.
Okay.
She belongs to the cult of which Gavignon is the head.
Okay.
So, but it's possible that she hasn't gotten
Everybody
back to
else
him
want
yet,
this
correct?
Doubt it.
Sure, it's possible.
But probably not probable. So you're saying we shouldn't go talk to him then?
She was going to
Sure.
take the rest of the day off, so probably.
Who wanted a piece?
Why not?
All right.
I mean, is this the guy that we made the appointment to talk to?
Yeah,
Yep.
because we
Yeah.
want to
So
find
why
out.
not like go talk to him? Because we were going to talk to
Okay.
him about something else anyway, weren't we?
Alright. He's in a hospital because one of his cultists just gutted him. I'm sure that she didn't go for a cuppa after doing that. She probably talked to somebody else in that cult. And when 3 of the people that you have out killing people to ascend get killed, and one of them guts the other person, she's gonna know, or they will know, who did it.
Yeah.
They've been following us. They know already. So do we want to walk into a trap or not?
Where is the meeting at? Is it somewhere public or is it?
Is that the
Penn
Penn
Foundation.
Penn Foundation. So right in the lion's den. We could go away and never come back, and nobody would know.
What do you want
And
to?
that's the only way we can find out about the Cairo
No.
investigation.
No. We could beat it out of them when we meet them later. I'm just not over tea.
I'm just wondering if there's
Why
any.
were we attacked by the cultists in the first place?
They want to kill us.
We were
And
just
everybody.
minding our own business?
I think
I don't think you were minding your
no.
own.
We're pretty
I
much.
think they got sucked into a painting or something, and minding their own business.
I'm not
with a
even sure if
beautiful
that
mural.
had anything to do with this. Is
Yeah,
the
the
weird
painting,
part.
the painting's a separate issue.
Right.
That's some other fucked up shit we got going
I
on.
think that was like a red herring that turned out to be golden.
No, I think that as soon as I can travel, we should probably get out of here.
Where's your next move?
I think
Africa?
we need to dispose of this cult here.
Alright, the only way to expose this cult is to have concrete evidence. Alright? Your police friend won't, or person that we've talked to, they're going to want evidence of some kind. So,
Well, we've got
How
names
do we
and
get that?
addresses.
So the concrete evidence would be to take down the guy that we're supposed to meet today. Because that's your concrete evidence.
or like we did in New, well, you weren't here for New York, but like
Go
get them
ourselves.
red-handed
Yeah.
type of thing. I'm personally saying I'm very leery about going to get tea with somebody we know is the head of a cult of people who are trying to catch
Okay,
us.
but if you're trying to catch them red-handed, and we're already aware of the situation, where we could be maybe
Oh.
aware already and go
By the
in
wa-
and
Hold on.
By the
Let me-
way,
try
me
to
just-
do it.
Last I heard, you guys were at the hospital getting Mustafa patched up. Are we having this conversation in the hospital?
Is there privacy in the hospital? No.
This is not waiting room type of conversation.
Well,
so-
that's why I'm asking
Okay.
where
Yeah.
you're having this conversation.
I feel like he's getting patched up and we're
Outside, maybe.
outside.
Outside in the park.
Yeah.
Well, again, do we want to leave him alone in the
February.
hospital? I mean,
I was thinking waiting room.
also, if I'm conscious or if I'm not, don't, for the love of Allah and Ra, don't give him my real fucking name, please.
So maybe we could be in his room while they did the,
Well,
the surgery or whatever. So we're in the room.
I give him Kimi Ali.
Thank you.
so
I'll put it this way: we'll have this conversation where we can have privacy.
yeah,
This is
this
definitely-
is a private conversation.
Yeah, it's not like the nurses are coming around.
That's
and-
what I'm asking.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just wanted to
We will
clarify
find a
that.
private spot.
So by the time
You guys are all stuffed in a confessional in a
by the time you get to the hospital
At least some
and
of the
through
others.
the ER and you have some emergency surgery to get yourself put back together, it's probably about 1 o'clock.
So we're
At
gonna
which
miss our
point,
meeting anyways.
what's that?
We missed our meeting anyways.
The meeting's not till 3.
Okay.
But it's probably going to be about 1 o'clock by the time you're wheeled out of the ER and back into a private
Yeah, I'm not
hospital
going
room.
anywhere. Yeah, can I just ask one thing?
Yeah.
before I fade out from anesthetic. Don't you know some people that could possibly get you a small bomb that you could deliver to Gavin?
So
It's an
I mean,
option.
I'm not saying, you know.
It's not saying that all Irishmen are bombers,
Right.
but
But I mean, you're a priest and you killed a whole bunch of people, so I'm
So-
guessing.
my thought is
We're trying to catch him red-handed. We don't want to blow him up, do we?
If you got a chance to blow the
I
evil
don't
cult
know.
leader up, you should always take it.
I don't know. I'm new to this.
We
I
know
would think
where
we'd want to try to.
you know where he's going to be,
find out information.
and at what time.
my thought is we know enough to talk our way into being a New York sect cult. Do you want to approach him as hey, we're here trying to figure out what you guys are doing?
I don't want to approach this guy at all. That's where my stance is. Like, I honestly think that if we go to this meeting with him, the chances of us coming out alive are pretty slim. That's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping that we could fish information out of him, knowing what we know, to try to get him to say something.
Like what though? I mean,
I agree
he's
with you.
I don't know. I
He's-
don't know what.
I'm sure he'd be able to beguile us in any way he wants, considering he knows exactly what's going on and we don't. He could have us chasing leprechauns. Or,
What about
more likely, just kill the people who are a pain in his side.
Okay, wait a minute. What if? I don't know. For some reason, I think the Penhue Foundation is like an important location.
Is what?
We did do the math to it, so.
So maybe we stand him up, because I think you're right. I think by now, by 3 o'clock,
Well,
hours.
not just to stand him up. We'll send a nice courier explaining that unfortunately we won't be able to make it.
Yeah,
I'll send
yeah.
the bottle of port that I had with it as a sorry.
We're at this hospital. Come visit us if you want.
Yeah. Especially this room that our friend's going to be in, non-guarded.
Oh, that's wait a minute.
and sedated.
And sedated. I mean, honestly, that's where I'm at with it. I think walking into that lion's den.
What
is
about like
not a good
scoping
thing.
the place out and like breaking in to see if there's any information there?
And what about trying to get allies to?
Didn't we already kind of look through the place when we were there?
Yeah.
Like the
us.
public part, which was like an upstairs display, which
talking
according
about
to
the
Mustafa was like really
Juju house, like
Yeah, the
Yeah, the
well
upstairs.
of face snake. Type
Did you
stuff.
guys ever end up talking to that dancer?
yeah.
We did.
And
Yes.
she said who was following us?
What we already figured out.
It's the
cultists
Brotherhood of the Black Pharaoh.
And the reason why that she's sticking around there is because
her boyfriend.
her boyfriend was murdered. Was one of the victims.
We know off of her, or off of the cultist, we know that on the 10th of this month, there's a Brotherhood meeting. There's going to be a truck that leaves at midnight to perform.
To do something at a house that he called the Egyptian house. That might be Gavin Jan's
We already
house.
know. We already know. If this, assuming this meeting's still going to happen, or this
Go to the restroom, I'll be right back.
Go back.
event, whatever you want to call it, gathering, worshiping, whatever. We know times for that. So if we wanted to, we could go there on that time after. It ain't much time to heal up, but a little bit of time to heal up. Hopefully Mustafa, well, we can wheel him around in a chair for a little bit, I guess. But
It worked for Game of Thrones.
How are we going to get Barrington involved?
I think
If we kill enough people, he'll get involved.
getting Barrington involved now wouldn't be a bad idea. You could explain that we got attacked, and then our friend got gutted.
And I think maybe we already have the information about Gavin Jan. What if there's
Gavian's an important person.
What if there's evidence at the Penhue Foundation that could implicate Gavin Jan being the leader of this cult before the 10th? And then we can, we'll scope it out, over the next few days to see if we can maybe break in, do something like that, and then have that evidence in hand to give to Barrington as proof that Gavin Jan is up to no good, So we have an ally for the 10th, because we know that at midnight a truck is going to come. We don't know where it's going,
Well,
but if
as
Barry's
much as I
first-
hate to say it, you have the skills to be able to do something like that. And I doubt I doubt 4 of us, along with 5 people, trying to scope him out at once is probably not a good idea.
Yeah, well, Samus and I both have some skills that can get us, like, allow us to scope around. I don't know. This is my initial idea. What do you guys think?
Well, they know what we look like because we went to their club.
Yeah.
They don't know what they look like.
That's right.
Do you want to use us for something?
And who's Barrington?
Barrington is
Unfortunately,
an
though,
investigator, like a detective.
The guys aren't quite the
With Scotland Yard.
shadowy types. You get what I'm saying?
No.
Say that again?
Have you ever followed anybody before without being seen?
Yeah.
Played hide and seek as a kid. I've got a 1 in shadowing. I'm great at it. I mean, I don't know about following people. I just
I have a 2 in shadowing.
Huh?
Yeah.
Then you're actually
There you go.
decent.
So what else do we have going on? There's the meeting at the 10th.
Right.
There's the meeting we're supposed to have today. Is there anything else that we have scheduled to do, or any of the
There's
leads?
painting at the fair. That's
That made us all
possessed.
feel weird. Yeah.
Yeah. So now we have new artwork.
All right, we
From
need to
that.
talk about the artwork, right?
Yeah.
There's
so
2 other newspaper articles too, aren't there?
Yeah,
There's
the
also
one
the
about
beast.
the beast.
Yeah,
out.
there's the monster in the woods that will eat us.
That's like
We could
2
do
days,
that.
right? Were we gonna go look at that?
Well, what are we going to focus on? If we go out to the country,
Oh, is that north?
Mhm.
That's north. Well, we do know that this truck is going north. Maybe that's the
Connect
place
down.
they're going.
if they even are related. I mean, to be
Good
honest,
job,
Shipley,
you. Good job.
Yes.
I mean,
You're a detective for a reason.
Yeah.
Shipley like didn't seem like he was.
But all of his paintings were relevant to us.
Yeah.
You saw the paintings.
They were relevant.
Can we get the rest of Shipley's paintings?
We got
We already
No,
got
they already stole them.
We stole them.
Fair enough.
They're
So
in-
one of them was
but
in.
they're not in England.
No, because they're already in a box that left for Cairo.
But we remember what they were.
So I can't look at the paintings then.
Not
No, at
right
the
now.
moment.
I know.
Because Mustafa already shipped them
That's
off.
fantastic. What a team player.
Well, well, we were going to skip town without you. I wasn't joking.
That's cool. That makes
We
sense.
thought we were going to
You
be
guys
arrested
currently
for
have
murder.
tickets for this afternoon to Greece and also to Edinburgh.
So you're good stewards of the money that we've gotten.
Mhm.
Very well.
Well, one's a train and one's a boat.
Fair enough.
There was a very serious, at least in our mind, possibility of us all being arrested for murder.
And there still is.
Yeah.
It hasn't gone away.
Yeah.
All right. So you don't want to have a meeting with this with the
No, I'm
Thank you, Foundation.
gonna, as soon as this talk here is done, I'm going to have a courier report and all that. We're very sorry we can't make it.
That's what you're planning. Is everyone else in
So
agreement on that?
we basically have 2 options. We can deal with this now, or we can go away for a couple months and come back.
I still think we should have the meeting with the Penguin Foundation. I know it seems like a trap, but I think we should do it.
I mean, that could.
What's the benefit, though?
Find out what's going on.
I don't know if he's just going to, like, open up.
Yeah, there's no way to tiptoe around it without some kind of forcefulness to this.
I mean, do we know that? Or we just talk to the guy like, hey, we just go under the same thing. He may know that we killed 3 of his dudes, but we know that he gutted our dude. So why don't we just go in and say, look, we're here to follow up on the original,
Cairo.
the original thing.
So he still needs to kill 2 more of us to even up.
It's fair.
I mean, that's the equation.
Well, we want to find out about the original expedition. What can you tell us about it? And just pretend like that's it.
Oh, like, just play dumb. Like, we.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no
that's what I
guarantee
think.
that he knows that we know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just play dumb like we just go in like we were going to do
Well,
it and just
except
talk to him.
for well, wait a minute, because the girl escaped.
The cultist girl
So
didn't
she
give
could-
us that information. It was the dancer girl that gave us, wasn't it?
No.
No.
And we know that the cultist girl's tied back to him, but
Did she
the
make it back there
dancer
and tell him?
told you about the truck leaving at midnight, probably on the 10th.
Oh, damn! It just dawned on me.
Cultists woman is the one who identified Gavignon by name,
Okay.
and also talked about the ceremony at Egypt House on the 10th.
Yeah, but we don't know anything about Egypt House. There was one thing that the dancer did tell us, though, is that there was an upper-class British person who was thin, that had dark receding hair, and a gaunt face and big ears at the Blue Pyramid that was talking to Zahara at some point in the past. So,
Let's go meet him. Let's just go see what he has to say.
Penhue
I don't think we're going to
Gavignon.
or Gavin?
Gavin, I think it's going to be a trap in the middle of the day. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's at a museum.
it's a public building.
You guys all have guns.
This is something we already.
No one has a gun right now.
Nobody has a gun.
I thought you dumped your gun.
No.
My
Is
bad.
there? Can we get a knife somewhere or a club or
Well,
something that we can?
I have a knife, but that's not gonna save us.
Plus, there's a schedule point where we did a couple.
Yeah, let's
or
just
whatever.
go in.
Mustafa was pushing me to get rid of the gun, but I didn't. And then
Okay.
it saved his life and our lives by killing 2 cultists.
I'm with you, Brian.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just go meet this guy and see what we can have to say. We'll stick with the original plan.
Just play dumb.
Play dumb.
Like, if I
ask
can
him the
find
questions.
another 45 automatic.
I mean, at this point, my pacifist guy kind of wants one, but we'll get past that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, out of character, I'm not sure what kind of information we're going to try to fish out of him, though.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, if we play dumb, we're not really going to get any information. And if we play hardball with them, we could die.
I mean, maybe there's like actual like locations, I suppose, of like where the Carlisle expedition went. That we have like a place to go when we
I don't
go to
think it.
Cairo.
Yeah, I don't think it's
We can
gonna.
have
Or-
a place to go. It's
Or he
on
could just
Jackal
tell you.
Street.
Oh, that's the.
It's his
dealer, though.
buddy's.
All I'm saying
Antique
is like,
shop.
all I'm saying is we go there and we play dumb, right? And we get no new information that we already don't know. Or if we ask more specifics, he could just be like, "Oh, they went here," and you know what I'm saying? If we go there and play dumb, but he knows what's going on, we're not going to get anything. If we go there and play hardball with him, we could all be horribly murdered.
I think we just go and ask him the questions that we get to ask him. Just pretend he's not the leader of a cult, and ask him flat out what happened to Carlisle. Where did they go? What can you tell us about it? We want to go investigate. We want to retrace the steps of the Carlisle expedition, and just pretend we don't know anything about him being in the cult, and see how this goes. Do you think he's going to murder us right there on the spot?
No,
Then I think we're okay. They're following us. I mean,
but then again,
If you ask the wrong question, that will lead to an incident.
well, what's the wrong question?
I don't know.
who knows?
Like, are you the leader of a cult? It's probably the question not to ask.
I just want to ask about the Carlisle Foundation. If they can give us a map of where the Carlisle Foundation went, and just follow our original train of thought.
Yeah, I'm
Just because it's something we have, and they're already following us, and we know they're cultists, and they know we know they're cultists. But let's just stick to our path, and maybe that'll throw them off.
Yeah.
And if you want, I mean, you guys can wait outside. You know, Dee Dee and I can do it because we weren't with you guys. You know,
No,
pretend like we haven't talked to you
You don't
guys.
wanna
I don't want
do
to split
that.
the party though.
no, I don't want to do that.
Well,
This is a public.
you say you don't want to
tournament.
split the party.
We're down one.
Mustafa's probably not leaving the hospital.
Well, that's a problem because if we leave him alone in the hospital, somebody's going to slit his throat. Right?
How busy is the hospital? What kind of hospital?
I figured you went to a fairly major hospital, but it's not like you hired a security guard, right?
No, not yet.
And it's not like there's a nurse sitting at his bedside 24/7.
Yeah.
So it's a fairly trafficked. He's in the equivalent of a critical care ward, but it's still a fairly busy ward, and it's not like this is the 1920s. You don't need to show 7 kinds of ID to get past the security guard and into the hospital.
He's got a lot of people skills.
How long is he going to be in the hospital for?
Well, I will tell you, when my dear ex-wife had a C-section, they had to like flop the innards out and then stuff them back in there.
She went home the same day, right?
No,
Oh.
so it was like 2 days, I think.
She wanted
1990s, 2000s
Right.
medical
So
technology is
I'm
very
thinking-
different from 1920s.
Yeah, right.
It's like, yeah, it looks like it belongs there. Just sew it up.
Right.
Well, they know where it goes. I'm just saying.
I have a lot of points in people skills, but they're concentrated and they're probably not useful for this.
What kind of
Be-
people?
Before they
I've got 4
take me
points
into
in
surgery,
assess honesty and 4 points in
I would like
and neither
to
one of those are
send a telegram. If you guys could like drop it off at the front. I'm sure at the front desk though, they can send telegrams, right? In the
Yeah.
hospital.
That's reasonable.
Do last rites.
You know. If you guys could send a telegram.
Well, somebody needs to stay with Mustafa because we all have targets on us.
Don't we have money? Can't we hire somebody
It
to
seems
stay
like
with
you're
them?
the one that wants to stay with Mustafa because
I
you don't
have
want
a-
anything to do with the
I
other
have
one.
a friend at the.
Yeah, but I also don't want all of you to walk into.
Can we hire somebody to stay with them?
And
Do we have
I
money?
can actually talk to
You have
people.
money.
I have a friend at the embassy that could probably arrange for somebody to stay with me. That's who the telegram's for.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Yeah, let's hire some Egyptian bodyguard with clubs and spikes. That is a
Just
I hear the
not-
discount these days.
Just not the female ones.
Well, we thought we were doing the right thing.
All right, Brock, you talked us into it. Let's go.
I just don't see any other course of action.
Let's do it.
There aren't any other
so
leads.
who's going? Where are we going?
I'm gonna go.
We're going to the
I'd like you all to come
Go
Foundation.
back to the
Okay.
hotel, dress up nicely, get the bottle of port.
Get a bomb.
So
Takes a little bit longer
everyone,
than that.
We have to bring them a gift. What are we bringing them?
everyone
I
but
already got
but
that.
our
You got that?
hospitalized-
Make it sure.
Egyptologist is going to the Penhew Foundation, and you have a armed guard courtesy of the Egyptian embassy.
Hopefully.
Mustafa?
If you will allow that.
Yeah, that's perfectly reasonable. Okay.
We just happen to be members of the cult as well.
They're members of a different cult. A less bludgeoning cult.
You're carrying your 45 concealed.
I am.
You're
I have a
carrying a
knife.
knife. Is anyone else armed?
Roll a Nichols, maybe. American. Nah.
Buffalo nickels or
If I can get some kind of weapon, I will, but I don't think I can.
Well,
You
you have
got a knife?
streetwise?
Well,
Oh,
I
yeah,
have
no.
a knife.
I do.
I can give you a knife.
Okay. I'll put a knife in my belt.
I
I
got streetwise.
carry a knife.
Anybody that wants to spend a point of streetwise can get a weapon. Probably not a gun, but for a point of streetwise, you can get
I don't have streetwise.
a weapon.
Alright, I'll spend it.
Probably be a pair of brass knuckles.
So I don't even
Okay,
have
perfect.
streetwise.
Okay.
You wouldn't know who to talk.
Nothing
You wouldn't know
wrong,
who to
no
talk to.
nothing.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know where to look for one.
Just imagine trying to.
I didn't look. He gave it to me.
Just imagine trying to buy weed and you don't know any dealers.
I do. That's like unimaginable. Talking to the wrong person there. I'm just saying.
Okay then.
I love it.
start calling you 420 then.
Yeah, okay, we'll head in.
All
I
right.
have no knife.
So, 3 o'clock.
Never been so glad to be at the hospital.
That's right. You're the only one that's going to survive this.
Those of you who can stand up, make your way to the Penhew Foundation. At the front door, you walk in. Do you have the map handy for the Penhew
do.
Foundation?
We do have a map of it.
Yeah, that's what I was asking if you had pulled it out. If you'll recall, right when you walk up the steps through the front door, there's a desk right at the front, and a red-headed man is sitting there. He says, yes, can I help you?
We have an appointment.
Oh, and your name, sir?
Dr. Alistair Stewart.
Ah, your appointment with Mr. Gavignon for 3 o'clock?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. This way.
Okay.
Stands up, leads you down the hall. First door on the right. Down the hall, he opens up, I believe. So, came in here, here was the desk. It's actually, through there. Let me make
Back of
sure
the
I-
building. Awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely a trap I'm leading you into.
Yeah, so he leads you through a waiting room, and then the door past that, the large room there with 3 windows,
Gotcha. Right here?
is Gavignon's office. Yeah, that one.
Okay.
He leads you in, and Professor, the man inside, stands up to greet you. He's tall, receding hairline,
Big ears.
kind of big ears,
Shake his
Kinda
hand.
gaunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. Offers his hand to each of you.
On my desk.
Ah, pleasure to meet you, chaps. So good of you to come. I'm told you were friends of Jackson Elias.
Yes.
Ah, so terribly sorry to hear about what happened to him.
Yeah. It
Can
was
you-
unfortunate.
Yes. I'd say more than just unfortunate. A tragedy. He was quite the talented writer. It's a shame to lose one man of his caliber.
Yes.
And in such a horrific way.
Yeah, it was traumatic.
Oh, he was a good friend. Good friend.
He seemed to be a kind man from the brief dealings I had with him. So, what brings you here?
Well, we were following up on the original Carlisle expedition on behalf of the sister. She had done some research and found some new evidence and wanted us to possibly reopen the investigation, and you were a perfect place to start.
Ah, well, I see. I'm not sure what there is I can share that isn't already a matter of the public record, but,
Basically, what we're looking for here is a man of your standing and your obvious knowledge of the entire expedition. I'm trying to use flatters. Would hopefully fill in the gaps that there are within these very poorly written reports. Now, I know foreigners are really odd when it comes to their own police matters, but I'm sure that you, being the type of man you are, and dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's, would know a bit more.
well, I know a little bit, but I was not the one in charge. That, of course, was Sir Aubrey. But I can tell you that Roger Carlyle obtained information from an African woman about a time in Egyptian history that was just not well documented. And he felt that, well, he seemed convinced that there was an ancient time when a sorcerer ruled the Nile Valley. I know this sounds absurd, but someone who at least claimed to have some sort of mystic power. And Carlyle became obsessed with the notion, so obsessed that, well, he managed to persuade Sir Aubrey to humor him. Of course, the information was nothing more than a hoax, and Carlyle's African lover fled with them all the expedition's ready funds, 3,500 pounds of it.
Oh, wow.
But we're gentlemen of the world, are we not?
Yes, sir.
Carlyle counted it as lost money and insignificant. It was the defection of his African lover that truly shook him to the core. And that was why Sir Aubrey decided that perhaps they could move to the Kenyan uplands. Perhaps the fresh air there and nicer environment was a place where Mr. Carlyle could better temper his disappointment at the tragedy. And I must say, Hypatia Masters was not a fan of the Egyptian heat either. So they thought they could get some African wildlife photos there in the uplands. And Hypatia, I guess, sought to try out some new lenses that she had acquired while she was there. I'm afraid I'm not much of a photographer. Are any of you?
I know a little.
Perhaps you could explain that to me then? Why she would be so obsessed with different lens variants?
I don't know. To catch the sunset in the right light, I suppose.
Ah, yes, I suppose so. I thought the sunset's pretty much the same everywhere, though.
Not with the right lens.
Huh? Well, guess I'll have to find out more about that. Is there something you'd recommend?
I'd give him something.
I'll certainly look into that. The
problem, of course, is once they made it into the uplands, I fear their guides were not as expert as they claimed to be, and they made some poor choices about where they would take those photographs, and, well, paid for it with their lives. With the tragedy, most of the expedition's records were lost. Sir Aubrey had taken them with him to work on, and
You said
What?
most. Are there any that survived?
nothing of significance, but a few minor things came back. A few pieces of pottery, minor shards that they had found while they were exploring Egypt that were easily packed up by those who had stayed back there. Shipped back here. Did you take a look through our collection upstairs?
We did, yeah.
Most of the all the pieces that we recovered from the Carlisle expedition are on display up there.
Okay.
Some of our nicer pieces are, of course, on display at the British Museum, but none of the ones that came from the Carlisle expedition fell into that category.
Just the humorous here. This ancient part of Egypt that he is referring to. Can you elaborate on that a bit?
The valley, the sorcerer.
Well, I am hardly an expert on this period, and honestly, I do not believe that there is any such period, but from what I recall, Carlyle made mention of, I think, a black pharaoh, and that this being, person, spellcaster, I guess, was capable of calling upon dark powers that granted him tremendous authority throughout the entire Nile Valley. Surely, though, there is no such entity.
I'm assessing honesty and like observing him.
Would you like to spend a point to assess honesty?
Yeah.
He is lying through his teeth. Clearly, he knows more about this.
You don't think you need to spend that point to figure that one out?
I just want confirmation.
And again, just to kind of wrap our minds around this one,
Of course.
what years would this be?
It's 21, wasn't it?
No, the years that the
Pharaoh.
pharaoh,
Oh.
the Black Pharaoh.
I think it was the heart and soul of 3,000 years ago is what she had claimed. But again, not my area of expertise. I'm not entirely certain what this scam artist claimed, as I don't think there was any truth to it at all. Did you find something of interest regarding you seem very interested in this. Did you find something regarding this sorcerer? Was there something in Jackson's notes?
There's nothing really in his notes about this, but we're trying to turn over every stone. And if that means...
Do you have his notes? I'd be happy to take a look through them, see if perhaps there's something of significance that you missed I could review. Perhaps I'd identify something for you.
Unfortunately, when he was brutally murdered, they were on his person, and they're not evidence.
Ah, I see.
You know, there was a symbol that sort of popped up.
And what is that?
Look in the Ankh. Mind you, when I say this, I'm also like observing his body language, all that kind of stuff. You know, I'm in detective mode.
Sure.
It was an upside down Ankh, I believe it's called. It had like a break in it.
He looks, his eyes twitch. You're pretty sure he's a little shocked at that reference. But he says, I have no idea what you're talking about.
What about the one that was?
I don't know how to like explain that one though.
I could draw. We could draw it, right?
Another thing I want to mention as you're talking to him that you notice, there's a safe against the wall over there, and it's currently unlocked, the door open.
I'll draw the symbol of the thing that was carved into Jackson's forehead. Does this have any meaning to you?
While he's drawing, I kind of want to and I'm hoping that Gavin Young's attention is on on what he's drawing. That I'm going to take a look inside the safe.
All right.
Can I kind of tell what you're doing then? Because if that's the case, I'm going to be like, no. It kind of looks more like, kind of get on the other side of his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does this have any meaning for you?
Again, he says, no, I've never seen anything like that. And you're fairly certain that he is lying to you when he says that. You see a white envelope. In there, and it's kind of thick.
Against the wall is Mustafa's sword cane.
What was another thing?
In the safe. There's also, when you're drawing at his desk and you're looking over, you notice there's a photograph in a silver frame on the desk. It shows a 3-story country mansion, and the name Misr House, M-I-S-R, can be seen in tiny letters at the bottom corner of it.
That's in Hong Kong or Singapore.
There's another thing about this symbol, though.
There's also 3 closets against the back wall.
Jackson, he did mention to us before we went to New York to meet him, and right before he passed, that there's a blood tongue after him. Does that mean anything to you?
No, I'm sorry, it doesn't. Again, he's lying.
How close am I to the safe? As I'm sort of like peeking around, trying to get a good look inside of it.
It's not a huge office, so probably 2-3 feet away.
So I could reach in and grab that envelope?
Sure.
And what about Mei Wu? She left the expedition. Where'd she go?
I do not know.
Is he lying about that?
I don't think he is. You're talking about Mwaver.
Waiver method.
Yeah, the woman that absconded with everything.
I never said her name, but that's good.
Yeah, he had. So, who is that?
Sorry, I'm getting out of the Irish accent there.
That's okay.
The lady that Carlyle was enchanted with, his sister was very adamant about her being the
Mhm.
genesis of his idea to leave.
Oh, I think she was, yes. I don't know where she went with the money. Presumably to waste it, as one would expect of any spendthrift and scoundrel, grifter.
Well, is there anything
Probably
else?
bought shoes.
Anything else you can tell us that would be helpful in our quest to?
Well, I could certainly show you the artifacts we have in the museum upstairs if you'd like to see them.
Sure.
It takes you upstairs. You check the envelope. There's a thick stack of £1 notes.
That's it. Just one
That's
pound
it.
notes.
£1
It's got like
notes.
strippers.
I put it down.
All right.
Anything else in there?
That seemed to be the
That was the
only
only
thing
thing in the safe.
perfectly clear or like white envelope, no markings on the envelope.
No markings on the envelope.
Alright, just put it back and sort of make my way back around to the front of the table.
He leads you upstairs. You get a very similar tour to the one you guys had when you first arrived, with him pointing out a lot of worthless shards of pottery and raving about how significant they are.
Okay.
So how many dig sites do you currently have going on in Egypt? Now I'm trying to like act like I have, like I'm doing small talk right now.
I think we have 2 currently active, but I would absolutely have to double check the records on that to confirm that.
Are any of them, did Aubrey sort of
Sir Aubrey.
Sir Aubrey. Sorry. English without your titles. Did Sir Aubrey direct you to dig at any of them in particular?
Not specifically, though. Those dig sites were chosen based on significant research, much of which had been conducted by Sir Aubrey before I assumed authority within the Penny Foundation.
Was this before he? How far before he left for the
Well,
expedition?
Study of Egyptology was his life's work, so he's been. It wasn't a matter of sitting down one weekend and sketching out a map of Egypt and saying, "Oh, let's dig here." Good sir, surely you are more familiar with the study of archaeology than that.
Sure.
Decades of research, and every dig is still an experiment to see what we might find within its, what mysteries we might uncover within its depths.
Where else does the Penny Foundation have digs outside of Egypt?
Oh, that we are Egyptologists.
So just Egypt then?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you work in collaboration with any other foundations that have digs elsewhere?
No. Why would we?
Collaborative research.
With a lesser foundation?
Okay. Well, we thank you for your time so much. Like, this has been tremendously helpful.
Of course.
Enjoy the bottle.
If you happen to come across Jackson's notes, I would be more than happy to help you analyze them.
Does this rag smell like chloroform?
We will send a post if we find, if we can get those out of
Very
evidence. Yeah. Okay, well, leave. So that was the bad guy.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to do?
I want to scope this place out.
That's okay.
Well,
I know there's an upstairs.
I mean, outside.
We
too.
were just upstairs. That's where the
Yeah.
useless junk was.
Yeah.
All the good stuff's probably in the British Museum, like in their basement, wherever their archives are stored or whatever.
See, I think it was worth
it's
seeing
there.
him, even though we
It's
knew he
there
was
somewhere
bad. He
hid.
knew he was bad. I think it was worth talking to him. I wonder what the £1 notes were.
They just look like £1 notes, as far as I can tell.
Why would that be a thing, though?
I don't know. Maybe to pay drivers.
Alright, so
£1 notes are pretty good money.
he's got a gambling addiction on the ponies, or he really likes strippers.
Or he's paying off the police here, too.
Took more on a pound, but who knows. The only other articles that we could follow up on is this whole beast thing.
Yeah.
'Cause
When does that happen? That's like in a day or two?
I don't know.
What do you mean, when does it happen?
It said that it happens on like the full moon or something like that in the article.
Did you say that?
I'm reading it now. On the third night.
Did you guys have Band-Aid too? Up front. I'll get it, Dana. I have to
I
go
have
back.
to look for it.
Sure.
I'm not sure where.
It says it happened on consecutive nights. It doesn't give any dates. On the third night, a man was able to drive off the grisly creature. A rabid dog was shot and killed. And they believe that was the beast.
Guess the problem solved then.
Yeah. See, we don't need to go up there.
The only time that it mentions a full moon is, it says lesser Adil residents still endure sleepless nights due to the bizarre wailings of the beast on nights of the full moon. But it doesn't
Are
say
the
that it's
phases of the
only-
moon conveniently marked on your calendar for you?
They are.
That's nice.
Sheer
The-
coincidence.
The full moon is
Weird
going to
how
be
that
the
actually
8th, which
happens.
happens to be Sunday, and we are now on Friday. So we could go out there. It would take a day to get up there.
You have any silver bullets? Garlic? I don't know. What will work?
Nah, Sure. It was just a rabid dog.
I mean,
just
maybe.
asking.
We
Well-
did get one piece of significant information out of him, though.
The Miser House, or
Besides the Miser House and the gangster rock bar. Mewu.
Where are you guys having this conversation?
Oh, this is probably back to the top. Or better yet, we're gonna go see our good friend Mustafa and see how he's doing.
Oh,
And have it there.
Mustafa, you mentioned the Miser House.
I'm not dead yet.
Mustafa,
You still calling me that?
you happen to know that Miser, M-I-S-R,
Egyptian.
for
Egypt.
exactly.
Damn. I was so trying so hard not to metagame. Thank you, John. You're the best.
so that's the Egypt House.
They're going to his house for their
And
cultist
based off that picture, that was
orgy.
in the country.
Mm-hmm.
blow it
And the country just happens to be where this beast is. I wonder if Miser House happens to be in the same area
That
up
the
north.
beast is at?
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be that hard to put 2 and 2 together on that one.
Well, you could look and find out where.
Miser House is.
Yeah,
And we're gonna do that.
Survey says.
it is not,
Okay.
in fact,
No.
there.
Oh. Bummer, that would have been way too convenient.
It would have been much too convenient.
Thank you, Diane.
Yep.
So, where is Miser House?
The Miser House was once known. Miser House is located in the Naze, which is northeast of London, near Harwich.
Isn't that where the beast is?
No.
No.
How close is it to this? To these reports of the beasts? Which
Is there
says
a
it's-
map of the UK? Because
There's a
I know you've got a
Yeah,
map
the
of
world.
London,
and we
but
have a world map, and so the UK on that is going to be
the
very
world map,
tiny,
yeah, UK is going to be very small on that.
Well, we have a magnified glass.
as it should be. I don't think it's going to give districts. It'll just say here's London, here's maybe York or
Yeah, so here, if you want to
Glasgow.
put that down, okay. So yeah, as you can see, that map makes it really small. Because see, there's England. So London is right about here. Yeah, even with that really enlarged, the word London is way, way bigger than the city is. But if I just kind of draw a really sloppy map, I'm not even going to try because it's going to look terrible. But basically, say London is here, right? The Naze, which is
Is it on the coast?
Northeast.
by Harwich, is up here on the east coast.
Okay.
Adale and Lesser Adale is up over here, towards Edinburgh.
Oh.
So by Hadrian's Wall.
Closer to Hadrian's Wall, yeah.
Alright.
They're probably 2-3 hours apart by train.
So if we go to where the supposed beast is, we could technically, now that we know where Miser House is, train over to there.
Yeah, and then come back.
But
Get to settle London for a minute, but we kind of take him with us if we do this, because I don't want to leave him in London without,
yes.
you know?
When you come into the hospital room, there is a well-dressed man in a fez sitting beside my bed. Possibly may or may not have a bulge under his left arm.
Happy to see this.
Probably not a bulge under his left arm, but might be wearing a rather impressive ceremonial dagger in his belt.
22 cal, hopefully. Or a 50 cal.
So let's catch you up on what happened.
Yeah, Miser, that's totally Egypt house. That's where it's going to go down. We should blow it up.
Yeah, MISIR is MISR, which means Egypt. So the picture in the frame, or the house house, and the picture was of the miser house,
Cool.
the Egypt house.
Okay, makes sense. And what language is MISR Egypt?
Egyptian.
Egyptian. That's okay. Huh.
Blow it up. I'm not gonna be out of here for at least another 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
I will not be tangoing anytime soon.
They'll probably discharge you tomorrow.
So that's Saturday.
I'm not gonna be running around
It's probably not in your best interest, but they'll probably discharge you tomorrow.
Baskervilles looking for.
Get the cart ready.
Can we get a chair for him, like a wheelchair?
Absolutely.
You want us to push around in a wheelchair?
We want him out of here.
No, I'm not gonna. Yes.
With his
Is
bodyguard.
Miser House handicap accessible?
You'll find out.
I'm guessing no. I'm just thinking we could hide dynamite in the chair. Totally.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Or why bother with dynamite? Just nitroglycerin.
Yeah,
I already
just
have a hole in my gut. You just stuff it in there.
Just sit on this, so nobody will bother you. Put a blanket over you. It's just dynamite in your lap and a cat.
Yeah, I think that we should. I'm gonna be not.
Well, do you want to? What do you want to do? Do you want to come with us? Do you not want to come with us? Do you want to? I don't want to split the party up if we can help it, but I also understand that.
It'll be a lot easier once we're out in the wilderness and there's nowhere else for us to go.
Right.
You guys can do whatever you want.
I feel like we should leave him there in the hospital. He's guarded.
I think he should come with us because we might need his expertise to read
Great.
Egyptian
Oh, it's
or
true.
Arabic.
You're right.
And moreover, I really don't want to have a player show up and then not
Yeah.
be able to play.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of my thought for never splitting
No,
the party
I
too.
brought my Kindle.
That's not cool.
I got the Cthulhu Mythos Encyclopedia. So,
We'll just rent a wheelchair. Borrow a wheelchair for a couple of
Well,
days.
it's not like we're
you
going to
know,
be
I'll
dragging
tell
them
you
through
that
the woods.
Doesn't sound like a great idea, but what the hell?
When we're playing at Cthulhu, man, nothing's going to be a great idea.
Fine, yeah.
All right, you're not going to need a wheelchair. By the next day, he's stitched up. He's not feeling fantastic, but what's your maximum health?
10.
Yeah, so you're going to be at 6.
Wait, I was at 7.
All right, then you're going to be at 7. See, fine, be that way.
Can we give him like morphine or something, opium?
No!
Just to make
No,
Maybe the
fuck
doctors,
no.
the doctors made him worse, so he went from a 7 down to a
No, we'll leave him at 7.
Yeah, I got
We'll get some
CPF
pain
while
meds
I was
for
in
him.
the hospital.
I'll check out pain meds in case he needs it along the way.
Sure.
Will the nurse give me a bunch of like morphine for
Well,
him.
Remember,
So,
heroin's
wait a
perfectly
second.
legal.
Yeah.
You're like taking me out of the hospital against my will. This is what we're doing?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
But I am
But-
taking your meds.
Um,
That's how we get rid of the monster. A lot of heroin.
We might not get rid of them, but at least we want to keep coming
what
back to
what
them.
do you guys what do you
First one's free, monster.
what are you guys planning on doing?
We're not even sure at the moment.
I think we're gonna go see the beast, right? And then we're gonna
Well,
head over to
it-
the miser house.
All of the articles so far that we've followed up on have been a significant find. So this last article is the only one that we haven't followed up on. Now, we know where the
How
miser
long
house is
till
now.
the 10th?
It is the 6th today.
So
Or tomorrow you're released, so the 7th you're released.
right. I would assume on Friday we'd be booking a train to go to, I'm sorry, the name of this lovely part of the country is Derwent Valley.
By Lesser Adele.
Yes.
I don't
So
think we should
we
wait till tomorrow. I
followed
think we should go
up
now.
on all of the newspaper articles except one.
There's 3
he
articles
doesn't get out of the
that
hospital.
uh,
All right,
we're
we'll wait till
getting-
tomorrow.
the
Right.
first one is about the Egyptians
I-
being killed in London. That's part of the big plot. The other one was about this artist who I still don't know if it was connected to this part of it, but it was definitely significant.
And I was hoping to get some painting lessons.
So we should, those two gave us information that we needed, so we should. do the third
Information
one.
and serious injuries,
Yeah.
mind
significant
you.
problems.
Right. Also, when that happened, we were nearby dozens of nice London hospitals, as opposed to out in I'm just saying. If you guys want to go up and investigate this, I can go talk to Harrington and do some research and meet you up.
I don't think we should be splitting up, man. At all, ever again.
Well, I mean, also, I don't know if you've ever had your intestines flopped out on your crotch, but I don't really want to go
Oh, that's getting old.
traipsing around.
You're fine.
Yeah, just put
He's
a
got
band-aid
pain
on it.
meds for you,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
fine.
sure.
Got
Just
a wagon to
if we
push
only
in.
had
It's just
Wheelchair,
oozing.
you're good.
Does this rag smell like chloroform?
All right, okay. So time out here. So metagaming, whatever. I'm not. Brock Close, me, am not interested in playing a game where we all split up every 5 minutes. Like if we're gonna be splitting up every time, I don't think I should be in this group. I want to stay as a group because it just makes things way too complicated. And so like as a gamer, I would prefer that we stay as a group. That's just at a game. I think it complicates the game, and this is already way too complicated of a game for us to complicate any further. Because then I have to try and roleplay that my character only knows part of the stuff, and then when you guys tell me I'm only getting part of the thing, and so like I'm really against as a gamer, like splitting up the party and doing different things. That's just me personally, my personal gaming style preference.
Well, what I'm trying to explain to you is once we get out into the wilderness, Egypt, Australia, and all these fun places, there's
Sure.
not going to be 12 different places
I
to
understand.
go.
I understand, but I just think like we're missing the boat when we keep splitting up and doing side stuff. It's not as much fun for
Don't
me.
go to the monster at all. It's just a side quest. We saw it the last
Side
one.
quest.
Do you guys? What are your thoughts on that? Am I out of line by saying that? Or
No.
No, I agree with you in most cases, but
There's going to be logical justifications all the time.
right.
I mean, we can
There's always a
play-
reason why we would want to split up, but
Yeah.
I think as a role playing game group, we shouldn't be doing that.
And I think if we wanted to add drama, it could just be done narratively. Like, we understand why Mustafa doesn't
Yeah.
want to go. He's had his stomach cut
Sure.
open.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
Totally agree. But do we leave him here then and just split up the party and go? And I think that's bad for a player to sit here while the rest of us are off on the adventure.
Yeah,
Like I'm just
I
saying, like
agree.
metagame. I
But
think
he'll be the only one that
Well,
survives.
he, in reality, should have tied the girl up.
I did
So-
tire.
So it's his own fault he's sitting in the hospital right now.
honestly, potato. Like we should have left him in the
I'm
first
just
place. That
Yeah.
we did. You know, like that.
Yeah.
I think we should just.
Yeah, you should have went home, went to bed, Father. You should have stayed there.
Okay,
Well,
so
there's-
back in the game. I'm sorry.
Well, there's
I just
gonna
wanted to make
there's
that
gonna
point.
be a situation. The building's on fire.
Sure.
There's kids on the third floor.
Totally agree. If
There's
something
some
like that.
lady in the basement. You
If-
go up and get the kids.
if
you
there's-
Two of us
should-
have to jump down a balcony or a fire escape to get some cultists. Totally get that. But if it's going to be like we're going out of town,
Right.
we should all be together.
Yes. Agreed.
Yeah.
No, we can still roleplay it. Like if you were like don't want to be actively, because to be honest, I don't even know what we're going to be doing out here.
No idea.
We're gonna
Right.
be dying.
Like,
That's what we do.
but it is the country, so we
You
can
keep
find a
saying that,
nice
we're
B
gonna
and
die.
D.
Stop.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hopeful.
They're full of them out there.
I think we should have as much backup when we assault the.
So let's build a
Egypt
medical
house
car.
Yeah.
We put it on our
as we
train.
can. I
and we'll
think
have like
we
a
need
full.
to talk to. While you're waiting for my innards to stop leaking, you should go to Harrington.
But we don't have anything to give them.
We got a lot.
Barrington.
Barrington's. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, like, without implicating us in some serious stuff.
We're already in some serious stuff.
Yeah, but he doesn't know about it.
But we're not ever going to get help unless.
So what do you think we should say to him?
Right.
Even if we tell them, we're probably not gonna get help.
Oh, okay. Like, we know who's killing all these people that you're investigating. We can solve this crime for you. Easy peasy.
But he's British. You forget.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We'd be,
No, I'm sure
I mean,
he's
honestly, though, we'd
interested
be
in
implicating
solving
a
this crime.
very,
Prominent figure.
yeah, in society.
So? He's guilty, right?
What does that have to do with being prominent?
Yeah,
Yeah.
when you're a member of the upper class, just okay. Perhaps you've read the Mueller report.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you, if we don't tell somebody, and then we go out there, and we're tromping around, surrounded by hundreds of cultists instead of 5, and we get our asses hit, I would like to.
But they need an
No.
Egyptian guy to
Purchase a hunting
sacrifice.
rifle for in the country.
You can get a shotgun.
Yeah. Can I purchase one?
Not easily in London, but once you get out into the country, you can get one.
I think we should tell Barrington what's going on.
Okay.
I mean, if I were a police officer and somebody said,
So I
"Hey,
just want to
this is who
to what
was-"
capacity are we going to do it
It doesn't-
anonymously, or are we going
Right,
to
It
a letter.
doesn't matter. We can. I will type up my notes until tomorrow, and
Okay.
we can tell him anonymously or whatever. I don't care. It's just we need to let him know
I think
this
that's
is
wise.
when this is going to happen. This is who is implicated in
I'm
it.
fine with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as it's not we're saying it, like we go to him and like just unload all the stuff on him. Be like,
No, we're dirty. we're bad people.
especially you and I.
Well,
You're a foreigner and I'm Irish.
right, but I mean,
I'm
we
a
need to
foreigner.
let him know.
You're not.
What they do is up to them, but I think we should tell Scotland Yard what's going on, who's responsible for the murders. This is what's going to happen.
As long as you don't implicate us directly, that sounds great.
What about Mahoney, too?
I don't want to go to jail.
What about Mahoney?
Well, you see, there's a pattern here.
We could tell Mahoney. We could tell everybody. We could
Because as
tell
ridiculous it is, it might put some
Kaiser
serious,
freaking
like,
Wilhelm
Is
if
that
we
the
want to.
newspaper ad?
yeah, it might like thwart any kind of plans if everyone's like now looking at the Penny Foundation, like, oh my God,
But
they're
in
part of
every
a plot. Let's,
situation, we end up being on our own. We have to do this stuff ourselves. I mean, that's going to be the end result. But we can do this.
So let's get supplies.
Yeah.
Meet up in the the morning.
We'll book the
Write
train
letter.
tickets.
Yep.
We'll find a B&B out there. Our cover will be we're going to be see it's February. What do you hunt in February?
Pheasant.
There you go.
I was going to say pheasant. I didn't even know.
I don't think you do, but we're always hunting pheasant.
Clarify for me what you are. So you're writing a letter to Inspector Barrington.
Everything that has happened since we've been in England, I'm going to write it down. And the stuff that pertains to the murders and the cult of, or the Brotherhood of the Black Pharaoh, I'm also going to tell my friend who's sitting beside the bed what's going on because he worked at the embassy.
Okay.
Perhaps he.
I'm going to ask about a couple of bullet points that I want to make sure I know whether you are or not telling.
Okay.
Are you telling him about Shipley?
No.
Okay.
That's not germane to this.
Okay. Are you telling him about the painting at the exhibition?
No.
Did we steal that one?
No.
Okay.
All that stuff's been shipped already to Egypt. So.
Okay.
Which book did you read on the ride over?
Are you telling him about the articles from Mahoney?
No.
Okay.
Unless they
Are
pertain to
you telling him
the
about
Egyptian murders.
Empire Spices?
Yes.
What are you telling him about Zara?
I'm telling him that the second in command of. I'm going to tell him that the Brotherhood of the Black Pharaoh is an organization that is responsible for these murders. It is run out of the Blue Pyramid, which he already suspects, and Empire Spices, and that
These are the books.
that Gavignon is the head, and what's her name? Zara is the second in command.
Are you telling him about the 3 cultists that you murdered in the street?
Yes. I'm not saying, hey, we murdered 3 cultists. I'm going to say the bodies found in the whatever square circus or whatever, those were cultists of the Brotherhood and apparently Sisterhood of the Black Pharaoh. They recruit these people
And we suspected that the cudgels that were with those bodies were.
There's not. What? I'm not saying in the letter I'm suspecting. I'm saying these are the cultists. Those bodies were the cultists. They had cudgels on them. I'm trying to be as evidential as possible.
Okay. You're
As
saying
opposed
that
to
Zara
wild-ass
and
theories.
Gavignon lead the cult.
Yes.
What evidence are you providing in support of those two facts?
Everything that we found and gathered from our event, I'm going to put in there.
Well, the only thing you found to confirm that either of those statements was the testimony you got from the cultist.
Well, and the employee at the Blue Pyramid.
She didn't identify. She identified Gavignon by description. not
Right.
by-
So you did contact.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, the evidence of the Egypt house and all that stuff.
Okay.
But I'm not like telling him this is what we think. I'm just telling him this
And
is.
so you're basically asking the police to raid Meeser House on the 10th?
Yeah. Well, I'm telling him that this is what's going to happen. There will be blood. Show up with, infantry and machine guns.
And how many letters
Artillery.
from Madman to Scotland Yard get?
Well, I'm addressing it to him personally, and other than going down there and telling him.
But you're not signing.
No.
All right.
Unless we go down there and talk to him in person, that's the best we can
Okay. Do you have cop talk?
I do.
I know, but you're not the one writing this.
do. I do, yes.
Do you want to spend a point of cop talk?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, I had two.
All right. You just one. That's all I asked for. Okay.
Will we roll?
Nope. It's not a roll. Say you had the points. You're spending them. Okay. All right. Well, that's interesting. So the rest of you on Saturday the 9th, I believe. Actually, all of you then on Saturday the 9th board a train.
Saturday is the 7th.
Saturday,
It's the 7th.
I'm sorry, the
Yeah.
7th. Board a train from London St. Pancras Station.
Can somebody buy me a sword cane while I'm still in the hospital?
Well, yeah, we're gonna buy.
Hacksaw?
We're planning for a trip in the wilderness and possibly coming across a beast. So we'll prepare for that.
Rope? Hacksaw? Some other stuff.
Get
Shotguns.
some good
Shotguns you have to get in the
Maybe,
Like,
maybe a net.
mooring line thick like that. That bigger
bear
one.
trap. Backpack. I'm camping out. Like, I actually know how to hunt. This is
I'm
something I can do.
outdoors.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
Waterproof matches.
Waterproof matches, yeah.
All right.
Container, canteen. Also, I'm reading the book that he read on the ride over.
Okay.
So I'm switching out.
So he had 10 days.
Yeah, right.
to read
I know that it's going
Yeah.
to take a while, but on the train, this is what I'm doing while we're
Okay.
traveling.
The train's only a couple hours.
Okay. Well, between times when I'm not doing
Yeah.
stuff, I'm going to start reading that book.
So you catch a train from St. Pancras Station to Derby, and there you change to the Hope Valley line that runs towards Manchester, and you deboard at Adale. And you know where you actually want to go is Lesser Adale.
Do we arrange for transport there?
It's about 5 miles. You can catch a lift with a passing farmer on his cart if you'd like, or you can hook it.
Catch a lift.
We've got some gear with us. Yeah.
What brings you all out to Lesser Adele?
Uh-huh.
Ah, what you hunting?
Beast.
Or we're going to be hunted. That's
Pheasant.
more likely.
You know where I get a shotgun around here? Good shotgun?
Of course, yes, right over there.
Oh,
Points to the
Go buy
town shop.
2 shotguns.
All
And
right.
bullets.
Slugs or shot?
Box of each.
Box, yeah. 2 boxes of each.
All right.
I'm gonna pick up one as well.
Okay.
How many are in a box? How many rounds in a box?
Well, let's say 12.
Here's your chance for a shotgun.
Can I get a shotgun?
Anybody that wants to can get a
Anybody
shotgun.
could shoot their foot off with a shotgun, including you.
I'm gonna give it a go.
All right.
I'll give you a shotgun.
Slugs or shot?
A box of both.
All right. So, shotgun, shotgun, shotgun.
I have a knife. I can run fast. Hopefully that's sufficient.
Nope, that hacksaw is going to get real useful as I'm sawing one of them down.
All right. You're able to take care of that. Find another farmer. Gives you a lift into Lesser Dale. I have a map of Lesser Dale for you. Let's see.
Did I see that article?
Do.
Well, if the DM's handing out stuff, we're in the right place.
All right. Obviously, it must be.
Well, that's not necessarily true. He had handouts for the other side quests too. So
I don't know why you keep calling them side quests.
It is.
That's a bar.
it's not a main quest.
It's a fun bar.
You know what I'm trying to say.
No, we're out.
Here are the things that I bought.
That article was
This.
from a year ago.
A backpack, a hunting knife, waterproof matches,
That sounds
bear trap pythons,
Mhm.
2 shotguns, one of them's maybe sawed off, 2 boxes of shot, 2 boxes of slug, hacksaw hammer, coat, boots, lantern.
There's a beast.
All right.
So
Who's
reasonable.
gathering
And
it?
probably some like
Yeah, I mean, it was
snacks,
important enough to
like food for a couple days.
Sure. Yeah.
that it was something that we think we need to investigate.
And a canteen.
All right.
Mr.
Cool.
Short.
And a poncho.
So it's beautiful area. It's cold, right? It being February, there's a wind that whips through the town coming in off the ocean, and I've lost 2 players.
I have a coat. Prepared with a coat.
But the woods are fairly dense. The grass is beautifully green. Sheep are out and about in the fields. It's raining, but the rain here seems cleaner than it did in London, where there was always the mutt in the fog as much as everything. So the Adale Valley does house Lesser Dale. It's in the Derbyshire Peak District, and it's renowned for being just a beautiful part of the country. It's a small village, and there's about 30 homes in the community. Some of them even have thatched roofs. There is a general store and an inn. The inn is the Laughing Horse Inn, and there's a small church and a veterinary clinic. Where are you guys
Seems
headed?
interesting.
Going to the Laughing Horse Inn to book some rooms.
All right.
Church, Anglican.
Of course.
Come on.
What else would it be? You head in.
Uh-huh.
There's basically a tavern on the first floor. Man at the bar greets you as you come in.
Is there a local
Help you folks.
local newspaper?
How uppity do you think we are?
We're just looking for a place to stay.
Ah, well, we can certainly set you up with that. We have 5 rooms, 4 doubles and 1 single available. 3 double rooms and the single for the lady.
Yeah, that's fair.
Very good then. It's 2 shillings 6 pence per night. Breakfast is included.
So tell me about this town.
Well, what do you want to know? Looks like you must have come here for a reason.
You just heard it was a beautiful part of the country.
Certainly is. Certainly is.
Plenty of pheasant out in the woods there.
Not the best time of year for them, but yes, there are pheasants out there. Just mind Mind the farmers, they take offense if you shoot one of their sheep.
No.
Hey, John,
Yes.
that letter I sent, I just thought of this while I was peeing. Which is where most of my epiphanies happen. I'm gonna type that up and get an envelope. Take it out on stationery from the Egyptian embassy
Okay.
with a envelope from the Egyptian embassy.
Sure.
And have it delivered like by a diplomatic pouch maybe or something
Okay.
like that.
Yeah.
Maybe give it a little bit more purchase.
Sure, that seems perfectly reasonable. You have the connections to make that happen.
There's also the fellow we're looking to talk to as well. Harold Short.
Harold Short.
He was in the article, right?
Can I see the article?
I don't remember who that is.
He was the guy that was attacked and left.
Oh. Don't think you'll be finding Harold around.
Why's that?
Harold moved out of town recently. There was an incident, and he's away.
What kind of incident?
Oh, it's nothing we like to talk about here.
Where did he used to live?
His home was the fourth one down the side street over here.
Are we safe?
Oh, almost certain. Well, probably. Maybe. It depends on what you do, really.
If you're
So
hanging
what
out
would we
with
do that
us,
would make us not safe?
I can't say I'd recommend going out on the night of the full moon.
When's the full moon now?
Tomorrow.
That's right.
Well, that put
That would be tonight, actually. That'd be the night of the full moon.
Perhaps you'd prefer to stay in and have a pint. Or two.
what goes on when the full moon's out?
Oh, well.
Silver was what I forgot to buy.
I
What
mentioned
about-
them.
Did you?
Yeah.
I would have bought silver.
And garlic and
Sure.
anything else you think
Okay.
of.
Sure.
It's not going to help, but
Yeah.
Wolfsbane,
Turn your shotgun into a blunderbuss.
Yeah. So I asked the guy what goes on around here when the full moon's out.
Do you have flattery?
No.
I do.
unless they have an elevator here, I'm probably gonna need a room on the first floor.
All the rooms are on the second floor. But you'll be okay.
No, I have no flattery. I can interrogate the shit out of him.
I could charm him a little bit.
intimidation always works.
The bar isn't terribly crowded right now. There's only 4 people in here, plus the bartender.
I'm sure you'd be in here for such a long time and hearing all the stories that come through with everybody on the post. You'd be able to give us a little more information.
Perhaps it occurs to you, as an Irishman, if you were to buy a round,
Oh yeah.
people become a lot more chatty.
And of course, we're thirsty. I'm sure your patrons are thirsty. Why don't I just give a whole round for it?
Ah, well then. I don't want to bore you with our local stories, but
They're always to make the most interesting ones.
I'm Bill. What's your name?
Father Cecil Sullivan.
Ah, pleasure to meet you, Father.
Nice to meet you.
So, pour some pints, and as he's pouring and passing them around, the locals get served before you lot. There were there were some murders 3 months back. 2 people were killed. George Osgood, Lydia Perkins. Both of them, different nights, torn completely to shreds. Nothing left but bits and pieces. Day later, Howard Short, attacked, but he managed to survive. Decided the town weren't for him anymore and took off. Fear that the monster that did this is sure certain to be back. And we've been hearing howls every time the moon's full. Full moon's tonight.
Where are they coming from? The house.
Don't know.
Huh.
You can hear it all over the town though.
anything change in 4 months ago when this all started? Anybody new move into town?
Well, Ernest over there says he caught a glimpse of the thing. Ernest stands up. Says, I saw, they've been saying it's nothing but a dog, but there ain't no dog that walks around on his back paws, I'll tell you. No dog ever ripped bone from bone in such a way as was done to poor Lydia. He sits down, takes a long pull of his pint, stares into it. The way it's told is the black dog of Adal is back abroad. Great beast, black as the night with glowing red eyes. Those who hear his howl, they're certain that death is coming for him. One of the other locals stands up, takes a big pull of his pint and sets it down. Jeremy Stratton, the vicar. He probably talked to you about it, Father. He caught a glimpse of the beast.
What's a vicar?
A vicar is like a Anglican priest, I guess.
Yeah. It's, the vicar is the
But without like the vows.
colloquialism for the priest of
They can be married.
the minister. Yeah. And,
Interesting.
yeah.
They're-
Ernest
They're allowed to touch babies.
Ernest stands up and says, "Oh, there's nothing for it anymore." Slams down his pint enough that it sloshes over the top. Tumwell shot that wild dog and settled the matter. There's nothing else for it. You can talk to Tumwell yourself if you don't believe him. Dog's dead. Lone woman that's here, looks around at you and says, Constable didn't look nearly so sure when those big city detectives came out about the killings, nor when they made their inquest.
Big city detectives.
Everyone but Ernest kind of nods and reluctantly seems to agree.
Where did these attacks take place? Were they the same spot?
All three of them were outside, just outside the towns.
Which direction?
Just so we can avoid it. And I gotta go.
Yeah, we don't want to.
Out in the moors over here, so to the west of the town.
Cool.
So I take it that the howls have been going on since the murders, every full moon.
We've been since they began. We've been hearing about it.
So is there a killing every full moon?
There wasn't at the last one, but Harold Short was attacked. And the next day, the constable killed the dog.
Was it a black dog?
Dark enough at night, they all look black.
Does it make me
So you
feel
never
very
seen the
good?
dog, the dead dog?
Constable saw him. You might ask him. Do you want to point out, as you were coming into town, you did see a castle.
Well, that's important.
Right here? Right outside the moors?
No.
It's
That's the constable's house.
It's Dr. Acula's castle.
It's actually Plum Castle.
I'm crazy.
And where the Vane family dwells, but it's not quite on the map.
Very good looking.
Vane.
Oh, not. Yeah.
It's just north of the map. This road up here that leads to the north leads to Plum, to Castle Plum.
Ask him about Castle Plum then. What's the history there?
Castle Plum is where the Vane family lives. They've ruled Derbyshire for centuries.
Oh, possibly. Legend has it goes back 700 years.
Wow. You don't get families like that in London.
During reign of Charles II is when they were titled. The castle, though, it's been through a bit. They haven't been able to keep it up as well as they should. Lord Vane is in his 60s. His heir, Lawrence, is a young man, has a sister, Eloise. Young woman, very attractive. Few servants also live up in the keep with him.
What time of day is this?
By the time you got here, it's probably 3 in the afternoon. February, got about an hour of daylight left.
What color were the eyes glowing?
Red.
In what?
The dog. I want to ask some. Actually, I kind of want to ask the different people to see if there's a consensus or if they're all.
Well, the legend that they tell you of the black dog is red eyes. But none of the people that are here actually saw the beast. Well, except for, now the one guy did say he saw it, but didn't notice any glowing eyes. And it wasn't he said it wasn't a dog. That thing, it stood up on its hind legs. Dogs don't walk like that.
Not usually. I'm sure I will avoid it because my cat is in my lap. I don't think Bast here would like to be around a dog that big. 2 legs or 4.
Okay.
I'll buy one more round for the group.
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm not gonna drink.
Just after you buy it, a man comes in, just wearing a heavy overcoat, walks in, sits up at the bar, orders a pint. Constable, it's good of you to come in. These folks were just asking about your latest exploits. Kind of looks over at you. Reporters?
Investigators. Instigators.
I'm going to introduce myself to him. I'm a doctor in college in the Americas.
Tourist.
Historian.
What is it you want?
Just curious about the stories we heard.
And which stories have you been hearing?
About the dog.
Well, he's dead. It's all well and done.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Cool. I'll just
Doesn't sound like it though. By
Yes, so, does he want to take a walk in the moonlight with me tonight then?
Hey,
On
married man.
Sorry, it wasn't meant in that way at all.
Mm-hmm.
Forgive me. I didn't see the ring. I'm sorry.
Got a thing for cops, don't you?
Well, want to take a walk with him in the moonlight tonight?
What for?
I'm taking a roll myself, but
what about those howling dog? The howling at night since the
Yeah.
incident.
There's always something out. Probably some farmer's dog just gotten about howling at the moon. You know they do that.
Don't assess honesty on this guy. How much of this does he believe?
It's not so much that he believes it as you think he wants to believe it.
Did you see the body of the dead dog when you killed it?
I tracked down a wild hound and shot it. Sure, it went off to die in the hills. Haven't been no trouble since I shot that blighter 2 months ago.
What did you say the moors?
I found him in the hills.
John, is this the castle? Is that what it looks like? Just curious.
It does not,
Okay.
in fact, look like the one from the cover of Call of Cthulhu.
Fair enough. So we know what we're walking into. Okay.
Does the Lane family still have any jurisdiction over this?
Well, they are the local lords.
gotta refresh me. I have no idea. Like out of character. Like in the 20s, do they still have aristocracies?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
okay.
They still have aristocracy
They own
today.
everything. They own all the land.
Yeah.
But they're not
People pay them rent.
serfs.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're basically the landlords.
That's the people in the castle you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They weren't too concerned with the. Just drop it. They're not too concerned with some people in this village.
Of course they were concerned, but took care about it.
And I'm sure the investigation from London cleared it all up too.
It's all taken care of. Father, what are you so curious about this? Perhaps you could talk to the vicar yourself.
That's a good idea. I do need to make my devotions today anyway. With that, I'll head out to the church.
We all go right.
Unless you guys want to schmooze.
Well, if somebody's pushing me, I'm going. And me and my cat.
So there's a small vicarage right next to the grounds of the Lesser Adale Church. Church looks like fairly recent construction, all limestone. And when you call at the door, an elderly woman answers it, just kind of stooped, got a scarf over her head. She looks at you and says, "What can I do for you?"
Did you buy a gun?
Mm-hmm.
Good evening, ma'am.
You need one?
I was hoping I could talk to the vicar.
Sword in hand is fine. Got me in enough trouble.
Well,
I'm sure he's very
He's
busy. He's
just-
probably preparing for tomorrow, but just like to speak to him for just a few minutes.
what's this concerning?
Oh, personal.
Can you tell me a bit more?
Well, an old friend of ours, Harold Short.
Well, you know Harold. How'd
Well,
you know him?
cousins.
Didn't know he had any Irish blood?
Married it.
Yeah. No counting for taste, then.
Oh, the English.
Well, he told me about what he witnessed on the night a few months ago, and a couple of people around here have said that the vicar himself saw what he was talking about. I just wanted to talk to him, get it straight from the horse's mouth, and put it all to rest.
Alright, well, I'll see if you can come on in. Just a moment. You wait here just a moment. You guys are standing. You see that there's a graveyard right next to the chapel. Is anybody taking a look at that?
Sure.
So, looking at the graveyard,
I'm definitely looking at it.
there's two fairly new graves.
People that were torn apart in the last 2 months.
George Osgood and Lydia Perkins. And over each of the headstones, there's a small silver crucifix hanging.
I've got one of those too. Silver cross.
The list just keeps getting longer and longer.
I know.
doesn't it?
I added stuff.
Are there more silver crosses in the cemetery?
No.
Makes sense. In a roundabout way. Folklore.
Yeah.
Full moon, east, torn apart, back.
Silver, werewolf,
Mm-hmm.
bear trap, shotgun, silver cross.
A moment later, the woman comes to a man comes to the door and says, "Oh, do please come in. Sorry to keep you waiting out here." Reverend Stratton looks to be in his late 60s. He's bald, kind of gaunt, dressed in a black cassock. "Please, please, come into my office." Brings you back in.
There's only 2 chairs and his desk, so it's a little crowded.
I got one.
Let the lady sit. And, the injured man. You notice on his desk there's a lot of letters, and you notice that a couple of the letters are from the Derwent Valley Order of the Golden Druid. You just see that based on the letterhead.
Do I know anything about that?
Not off the top of your head. Well, no, not off the
Even
top of
with
your
the
head.
cult or anything?
I don't think so.
Okay.
You also notice that there's a Greek to English primer, which is taken up the center part of his desk, and a bunch of loose papers and an old leather-bound journal. And you notice on a couple of the papers the word vein, V-A-N-E.
Good evening, or good afternoon, rather.
Pleasure to see you, Father. So, what brings you to our small town?
Truth be told, my cousin, distant, second cousin actually, Harold Short,
Yes.
contacted me a few months ago. Told me some very disturbing things that were happening in the former place where he was living. He was so adamant about these things that I honestly had to come and see for myself.
I see.
We stopped at the local tavern and just talked to a couple of the neighbors. Everybody has a tale about a beast that's in the woods. I've already heard that from Harold, but they all said that you also saw this beast, and that definitely isn't a rabid dog.
I was walking home after visiting one of my parishioners. I suppose it was around 9. I remember the moon was full, and a heavy mist had risen. I stopped to open the front gate, and I heard breathing, heavy breathing, like an animal. I looked up, and there was a huge, dark shape. I couldn't see it clearly because of the mist, but its eyes, burning red, scared me half to death. I'm sure it saw me. I bolted into the house and locked the door behind me. Thanks be to God I made it in safely.
That's just a transcript of that.
Yes.
I don't need to see it.
Red eyes. Sounds like a job for Visine.
Well, it doesn't have 3 heads.
That's good
And I
news.
take it you don't believe the tale of a rabid dog.
Did you see that before the killings, or
Saw it at about the same time as the killings happened, yes.
I don't know if I was spending part of this,
What do you think it was?
but we're here.
A demon?
Well, I think it might be the legendary beast of Adale.
Let's tell us the story.
There's legends that speak of a massive hound that walked the grounds around the whole region. Perhaps it was once the working dog of a squire or something, and that it howled after its master died. Dale folks say anytime it howls, someone is fated to die. I've been trying to translate this journal. I am not a master of Greek, I fear.
Do you mind if I take a look at it?
Are you familiar with Greek?
I am now.
I'm also.
Are you?
Were you already?
Yes.
Did you want to save yours and
I'll
let him
save
do
mine. Let him do it. Yeah.
it? It's this page. He flips it open and points to a page. I've been having some difficulty going through it.
take a look?
Yeah.
So, it's a section that talks about the trial of the witches of Bakewell in 1608.
Why is it written in Greek?
Yeah, that's what my question would be.
Apparently, whoever the vicar was at the time felt that Greek was the language, the best language to document this.
The lingua franca.
Yeah. In 1608, Lady Evangeline Vane was a witness for the prosecution of the witches of Bakewell. Annie Stafford and Jenny Green were found guilty and hung for witchcraft. And Annie Stafford cursed Lady Vane with the mark of the beast.
What witches?
I can see why you had troubles translating. There was a couple of odd ways in which this was written, considering it's not ancient Greek, but I relate to exactly what that said.
Well, that's certainly troubling.
Is there anything about
Perhaps I'll schedule a visit to Lord Arthur to discuss this then.
what was the curse? Did it say anything?
Mark of the beast.
Yeah, Mark of the Beast.
Have any of the
No, this was 1608.
And people had all sorts of odd beliefs back then.
What was the name of the girl that cursed?
Her name was
Annie Stafford cursed Lady Vane.
And who were the bodies of the people that were killed?
Perkins and Osgood.
And where do we see Vane written at?
The castle. The lords are.
But Vane was also written in his notes in several places. In the vicar's notes.
Do you think the curse carries to today?
Who was Lady, or who is Vane?
The lords of the area that live in that castle.
Lord Arthur Vane is the squire of Adele.
And she, who was cursed?
Well, that was 1608, but that was Lady Evangeline Vane.
So ask him, do you think the curse carries to today?
Surely this curse is nothing more than fiction.
But you saw something, right?
I saw something, yes.
What do you think you saw?
Well, I fear that what I saw was the beast.
So, the beast.
A demonic presence, surely, not something that would be manifested in the spirit of one of the townsfolk. You don't think, do you?
It's been my experience that anything is possible.
I suppose.
So, should we go see the veins?
Are the townsfolk here superstitious people?
I mean, there's silver crosses on their graves.
Let's say they're devout people.
Good. Yeah, let's go see the veins. Can we get an audience with the Lord on short notice or no?
You could certainly try.
Well, if you would accompany us, sure
Is
you
it-
would love
are
to
there
talk
any-
to the vicar.
Oh, I cannot at this time. I have too much to prepare for service tomorrow.
And it's getting dark on a full moon. He's not going to walk up to the castle.
so
Perhaps a letter of introduction?
Well, I could certainly do that for you, yes.
are the is the
It's
Vane
off.
family,
Few
are they
sentences. That's another
unusually long lived? Are they hairy people by chance?
Not particularly.
Are any of the family members aren't they
Locked up and chained in the basement.
Yeah. Are they seen regularly around the village?
Of course, yes. Arthur, down all the time. Always loves to get a pint at the Laughing Pony. Laughing Horse.
Are there
Laughing
any
Horse.
descendants of the witches that were hung?
No, they were hung.
Well, I didn't know if they had children before they were hung.
Well, I wasn't the one who translated it.
And the names, are those names still names of the city, I guess?
No.
Cool. Let's go see the veins.
All right.
I just got this book. It's called Witch Cult in Western Europe. You'll see it by see if she's in that. Actually, it was a real book.
Okay. Yeah, we'll head up that way, I guess, right?
Yeah. Before it can start.
And it didn't cost me a point of sanity to read that, which is the best.
All right. So there's a winding road that leads north from the village to the castle's entrance, and the castle is atop a stone bluff that's kind of overlooks the city. It's about 200 feet high. And it's not that big of a castle.
Fair enough.
And when you when you approach it, you can't help but notice that there is a front door, but the path that leads to the front door doesn't look like anyone has walked it
Okay.
in centuries.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not well traveled, but you see that there is a well traveled path that leads immediately to the side door.
Let's go to that one.
How are we getting there?
You can hoof it. I mean, it's not that far.
Just a trail.
I can't walk.
You can walk.
What?
You can
I
walk.
thought I was in a wheelchair.
Well, only because you chose to be.
Let's play that violin.
I'm staying in the. I was just disemboweled for the love of God.
How long are you going to wean this?
Oh my God. Have you ever been disemboweled?
You
Margaret?
whine
Yeah.
so much.
I did.
Wow.
I had 2 C-sections, as a matter of fact.
See?
That's fair. You actually can say that you have been disemboweled before.
Were you wandering around in
Yeah,
fields
I
with?
sure was.
Okay.
I believe that. Actually, I believe that to be true.
That's
Had to go see the
awesome.
baby.
Staying in this chair.
All right.
Possibly for the rest of the game.
Campaign.
We're gonna
Rest of your character's life.
my magnetic
He
powers.
said, have you ever been disemboweled?
Yeah, that's shit. Now I got PTSD from being disemboweled.
We were kind of wanting to bring you because you couldn't run as fast as us.
Exactly.
So that was, I mean,
That was the main
the
plan.
big
actually.
plan on you coming
Well,
with us.
Well, no shit. I didn't figure that out.
You get to the side door.
Okay.
Give a knock.
Careful.
Servant comes to the side door of the castle and asks, "Yes."
Pleasant greetings. We have a
You guys are letting him do the speaking? Okay. Yes, Father.
we have a letter of introduction from the vicar. We'd very much like to speak to the Lord of the house.
He opens it up. I will pass this on to Lord Vane.
Thank you.
Closes the door. Just
Oh, that didn't work.
We're out there 3 hours later.
Yeah, after a while, they probably hate the Irish, don't they? It's bad to have you talk.
Most people.
Poke him in the gut, make him bleed. We'll tell him, hey, he's bleeding.
Believe me, it's mutual.
It's about 4:30. The sun is just starting to set. Door opens again. When did you wish to speak to the Lord?
As soon as possible.
He can accommodate you on Tuesday.
He's busy.
Okay.
Perhaps for lunch at 11:30.
What day is it now?
Saturday.
So,
Don't run into him tonight.
there's a lot of stuff going on that day. Thank you very much.
Of course.
We go hang out in the moors all night?
That's probably what we're going to do.
Go set some traps?
I have outdoors. I don't think I
I have a bear trap. I have no idea how this thing works.
He was like in the store. Yeah, I want that.
Yep. Don't know how it does it. I'll give it to you if you have outdoorsmen.
You do notice the castle. You also notice
Dark shape on the parapet. Howling at the moon.
that would be awesome.
Right. No.
But no.
It's my imagination running wild.
Yeah, most likely. About 700 feet off to that way, there's an outbuilding and you guys realize that is a mausoleum.
Let's go look at that.
Yeah. Let's go find out where Lady Evangeline, let's see if she's still in there.
I mean, is that public? Can we go wander through it?
You can go wandering through. No one is stopping you.
Let's go do
It is raining right now. It is
course.
getting dark.
Put the poncho up.
Perfect.
Get my lantern going.
So you walk over there,
Gonna get
and it
sepsis.
is a granite structure. It's actually fairly large. About 20 feet aside, which for a mausoleum is pretty big. There's all of these angels canting off of it at various angles, big pillars in the front. And there's a stout oak door right at the front.
Oh, there's creepiness.
Take the oak door's probably.
Who's checking? So you're checking? Door's unlocked.
Light the lantern. What could possibly go wrong?
Well, this family's been around since at least 1608, so that's probably where they bury all of them.
Let's make sure the shotgun's
Door
loaded.
pushes open right away.
Both of them.
And it's damp in here. It's not surprising. It's raining outside, and mausoleums aren't usually designed to be airtight structures.
England.
Right. It's kind of a musty smell in here. And you can see that you're on an upper level, and there's also a flight of stairs leading down. Glancing around just at the, not caskets, but sarcophagi and the stones that are mounted in the wall here. There's headstones dating back to the 1700s.
Wow.
And there's a flight of steps leading down. Anybody want to spend a...
Sense trouble?
actually, no. And I'm looking for investigate, and it's got another name. Evidence collection, that's it.
I'll spend a point.
All right. You notice that on the back of the door, when it closed behind you, there are deep claw marks gouging into the door.
Hey,
And when I
guys.
say deep, they're like yay deep into this stout oak door.
Right. Like disemboweling claw marks.
Yeah.
You and the disemboweling again.
I feel like this is,
Oh,
You're right, it's appropriate.
it is.
Yeah.
And that's when the sense trouble comes in.
Now I'm going to sense trouble?
I'll wheel over there and look at them.
Feel over.
Yeah.
Do they look?
You're walking.
I'm not walking.
He refuses.
I believe that my character, if he wants to be in a fucking wheelchair, he can hide all kinds of shit in a
Very
wheelchair,
shit.
right?
Whatever. Whatevs. Wheel your ass on over there.
Are there like fleshy bits or blood, dried blood, or anything on these
That is an excellent question.
claw
You do
marks?
not see any. But what you do notice is that the claw marks look like they're from a five-fingered hand.
That's weird.
I'm going to hold my cat up to the claw marks and see what.
Right, so the claw marks are kind of a large human hand size,
okay.
you know, maybe a bear. Bear could have done that. The cat's paw is about that big.
Right, no, but I mean, I'm gonna let him smell it.
Okay. The cat
Otherwise-
wants nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they look fresh?
Yes.
Well, I would say when the hair stands up the back of your cat's neck, but it's a hairless cat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's not going to help much.
That's the only place there's claw marks?
Well, it's the only place you've noticed claw marks so far. There is a
What
lower
is-
level that no one has entered.
what is the material of the door?
Oak.
Stout oak.
So it's not.
And old.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
It's not like
something was
balsa.
in here and wanted to get out, and with claws and 5 fingers.
I think we should put the bear trap here.
Yes. I think we should all
And
get
everybody
a bear.
should know where the bear trap is. Put it here before we get out. Would you use your outdoorsman to do that for me?
What was in here So it's probably came from that.
So the problem is the door opens,
Well, let's go check the rest of the mausoleum to see if there's any.
In.
right? Because you said we opened,
Mm-hmm.
so it opened. So for it to get out, we would have to.
See if there's
Let's
any
say
more
move.
headstones missing or
I think we
anything
should let
busted
the-
out.
Or if it came back, if that's what you're thinking, it would open the door.
Is it
Negate
dark
that
yet?
try.
No, I'm saying down a little ways, so when it's coming up.
So you guys really just, yeah, I mean, the sun is setting. It is deep dusk.
So
Or
we're in the right place.
if we do that, and there's nothing here, and then some poor schmuck comes out there to pay respects.
I don't know anything about a bear
Let's go
trap.
check the rest of the mausoleum.
You're gonna head down the stairs.
Put
I
this
would like
here.
to.
We'll
All
check
right.
downstairs.
See if
No
there's anything
idea.
more.
So you're leading the way. Rose is leading the way
I
downstairs.
guess I am. Come
Awesome.
on, guys. Let's check
Because
this
everybody
out.
else, the guys are all standing here looking at the door. You say it's time to go downstairs.
Yeah,
All right, load up my little sawed off.
All right.
Put that in the
So you head
pocket,
downstairs.
Load up the big one with the slugs.
Do you have evidence collection?
I do not.
or
Okay.
we're in the back.
Oh, I have one. Yes,
You
I
do?
do.
You okay? You don't need to spend it. But you head downstairs, and you find as you're walking around down there that there's a loose stone slab right in the middle of the floor.
Aha, that's what I thought.
Yep. Do you want to try to move it?
I'm gonna have one of the muscle guys try to move it for me.
All right. Do we have any of those?
I'm too hurt. I'm
We're
so
trying to
beat up.
impress her. Yeah, sure.
Right. Beat up by
Let's do
girls.
this.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, I'll give
And how long
Declan
are
a
you gonna
hand.
milk this hobo?
So
For the rest of the campaign.
you move the slab over to the side, and the slab is about a 24-inch square slab of marble. And when you push it to the side,
It makes a lot of noise.
it does, yeah, because it's about that thick. And as you're sliding it, you see, there's claw marks on the underside of this slab of marble that look suspiciously like the claw marks you guys saw on the door.
And that
Is there a name on
underneath
that?
the marble is a hole, I think.
There is a hole,
Shine the lantern down.
and it's pretty
1, 2,
deep.
3, not it.
Is there a name
And
on
there
that
i-
marble?
There is not a name on the marble, but
Like-
there is a ladder extending down
we
below
should
it.
definitely get
It's
on
a rusty metal ladder.
And since we no longer have choices, we all go down the ladder. Since we're going to do
You
every
first, though.
No, we're all going to die together. That was the that was what was presented to us. We must do it all as a group.
Out of
Die
curiosity,
together,
before
we
we go
die
down there,
together. That's
the
how it
names
is.
down here, how far back do they go?
They go back to, actually, these names go back to the 1400s.
So that's before the curse.
1600 was the first.
I take it the stone that was loose was just
16
It was just a stone. It
Flagstone
was
is
not.
the floor.
Yeah.
No. I mean, there could have been problems before
Alright.
that. It was just a
Let's go down
convenient.
the ladder.
Yeah, we came to stop this thing, right?
Mustafa, you getting out of the wheelchair to go down the ladder?
I just push him in the hole. You wanted to spend the hole.
You first.
I can't sit down.
Maybe
Every chick's got to learn to fly.
I could stay here with the bear trap and dangle the bear trap over the top of this. If it gets past y'all, we'll drop the bear trap on his head.
How deep is the hole?
It's about 15 feet.
No, that's pretty deep. No,
We
that's
can all fit in here together.
15 feet is When you get to the bottom, does it open up? Or is
It
just a
does. When you get down to the bottom, it opens up into a natural-looking cave.
This is cool.
And you see
Awesome, right?
that there's a tunnel
Let's go.
heading that way, down the cave.
Push the guy in the
From the
wheelchair first.
No, that's cruel. I'm reporting you to
close
the
is the castle
Americans with
to the
Disabilities Act.
Go ahead.
Castle is not terribly far from the moors at all. Kind of abuts against them.
So this cave probably
The end of the
Goes
moors.
underneath the moors.
Well, no. This cave actually goes right toward the castle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Veins
that's
were
what I
first.
thought. Yep.
So let's start walking this.
I like
Every
it.
Full
See
moon,
where
one
this
of the
takes us.
vain
What do you think? Should we put the bear trap down here?
I think we need to hold off on the whole bear trap thing.
Fair enough. It could save your life.
I have.
Just drop it like a
You got a shotgun.
I think we all have a shotgun. I have one too.
I
You
don't
guys are
have a
carrying
shotgun.
those with you?
I am.
Yeah.
I believe they were very clearly carrying shotguns with them.
Oh, okay.
I think the Bain family.
Probably why
knows
we
what
didn't
he
get to
says.
meet the Lord.
Shoot up with shotguns.
Yeah,
It's kind of amazing you got to meet the vicar, honestly.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
but yeah, all right. Honestly, I don't.
Yeah, let's go. We're committed. Let's do this.
I mean, the only way I'd set up a bear trap is if we knew someone was coming. It was that bear trap was in front of us and we were behind it.
Right.
It's like it has to code through there or figure
So-
out something else.
Remember I said the mausoleum was about 700 feet away from the castle?
Yeah.
This tunnel goes about 700 feet and it ends in a brick wall.
Huh. Look up.
Oh, mystery solved. Let's go.
It's like a natural cave.
Just ends in a brick wall, huh?
Let's
Maybe-
see if there's
Well, let's see if there's
secret
an opening.
little
Yeah.
brick to press.
Maybe we should
or-
put the bear
Huh!
trap. Hold on.
What do you know?
There is.
There is a secret little brick to press.
Yes.
Because
Maybe we
you
should
push
put
it
the bear trap at the
and the
bottom
door
of the
slides open.
That's cruel.
Very quietly, it's
We
like
have to get through there.
And right on the other side of the door,
But
Comes
if
up.
it comes behind
you
us.
see a young woman. Looks to be 19, 20.
Oh, hey.
well, you could shoot her now.
Looks kind of skinny. She's got long blonde hair. Her complexion is very pale, and she's in chains, bound to the floor, which are attached to the wall. She's in basically a jail cell. Bars in front, and there's straw littered on the ground, and she looks up at you, and she's got this expression on her face of just shock. Who are you? What are you doing here?
Who are you?
What do you
Rapunzel,
do?
let down your hair.
You're the ones in my place.
Where are we?
Who's imprisoned you and why?
We came to rescue you. We thought you needed help.
I'm Eloise. Eloise Vane.
Oh.
And do you normally frequent caves chained to walls?
What do you mean caves?
Stand aside and point down where we just came from.
The basement of the castle.
Huh. How'd we get here?
How did you get here? What are you doing here?
Does this smell like chloroform?
Lawrence! Lawrence!
Shut the door. Let's go back.
You shut the door, or you?
Wait.
Wait.
No, let's wait for
We
Lawrence.
have to do
wait
it
for
all
Lawrence,
together.
man.
So we
Her
shut
name
the
is
door and we
Eloise?
go back.
No, let's
Her
not.
name's Eloise.
Whatever you guys want to do.
Her name's Eloise Vane.
Let Lawrence come in.
Eloise, why
Why
are you chained here?
Are you okay?
Don't know. I don't like this. You shouldn't be here.
Why?
I think you're right.
You shouldn't be here.
Why shouldn't we be here? You shouldn't be
So
here.
I just want to make sure I've got a good idea. So this is a pretty small room, right? It's maybe 5 feet
So our
across,
heads are popping
she's
through
gonna be
each
able to
other.
fly.
10
Yeah.
feet
Exactly.
wide. She's
Should we
kind
bear
of
trap?
chained to the wall.
Bear trap.
Wait, is there other exits from
For
this
Lawrence.
There was it's like she's in a jail cell. So
Okay.
there's
Dungeon
bars in
castle.
front of her.
But behind her is, or I'm sorry, bars in front of her, but there's like, I'm
You
trying
s-
to get this in my mind. So we open this wall opens up,
The wall
and there's a
opens.
jail cell and she's chained to it.
She's
Inside of
chained inside of it, and you are inside the cell with her.
Ah.
Sorry, didn't make that clear.
Okay.
So
You
she
opened
look-
up a side wall of her cell.
Of her
Does she look
cell.
clean and like she's dressed? She's just chained up?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
She's
step
a
back.
monster.
Yeah.
Putting 2 and 2 together here.
They're keeping her chained up so she doesn't, when she transforms, she doesn't kill anybody.
I'm actually
Yeah.
going to.
They're letting her open that. They're opening that to let her out to kill people.
Maybe you should free me. I'll go with you. You said you were here to rescue me, right? She holds up her
Well,
chained arms.
we're
I'm
thinking
gonna
about
start to
that.
do-
Is that a hacksaw?
I'm going to start
And
to
this
do
is a bear
blessing.
trap.
Okay.
I think there's something funky with blessings in this.
You can do a blessing, but no, there are not something funky with blessings. Not for this purpose, at least.
Not for this purpose. All right.
Yeah.
That was my little test.
She has the mark of the beast. So you're
Does she? You see
yeah.
that? Where?
Her family was cursed by that bitch Annie Stafford in 1608. Gave him the mark of the beast. So what we
You're
need
right.
to do,
They did, and when she says that, her face and body starts to transform.
start praying.
Everybody back out.
Do you
Close
have
that
any,
door.
do you have any holy water?
And her features become more and more bestial, and her eyes start to glow red, and hair sprouts off
You got that
all
Irish
over her
body?
body.
We can close the door now.
Yeah, let's close the door and
Close
run.
the door.
Well,
Yeah,
wait, why did we come down here? If
We found out why we came
knew
down here.
exactly what
And
was going to
ears
happen.
start to
Well,
grow
you guys
from the
got
back of her
shotguns and
head.
everything. Let's just start
yeah,
killing
start
it.
shooting.
You got
It's
a
19-year-old girl.
Not anymore.
Yeah,
It's a true
not
story.
anymore.
That's why we shut the door.
No.
Unless we hear chains popping. I'll put it this way. We'll be in the corridor, guns drawn. If she comes through it,
Bear trap down.
bear trap is a great idea for this part right now.
Why don't you guys,
All right.
you
Well,
guys
I
got
think the Vane
shovels? You can
family's
start
probably
digging
really
a
going to be
tiger
pissed at us
trap.
if we kill this girl, actually.
You what?
The Vane family's probably really going to be pissed at us if we kill this
Normally
girl.
when you kill someone's offspring, they tend not to like it.
Even if they are werewolves.
Even if they are werewolves.
Right.
So I think we shouldn't do that, probably.
Unless we have
At
no
least
other
we know
choice.
the answer.
If it's coming right at us.
Well, I knew it before we went down here,
I
but
did too, but we had to learn in the game, right?
So, you slam the door.
Yeah.
We close it in whatever
Yeah,
way
you close the door and back off.
Right.
Yes.
You've got a shotgun drawn. You've got a shotgun drawn. You lay down the bear trap. What are the other four of you doing?
Run up for them stairs.
The
Yeah.
ladder?
Yeah. the
Running
ladder.
for the ladder.
I'll join the running.
Running for the ladder.
Sort of make a tactical retreat to cover their back.
So you're backing up
I'm shuffling as fast as I can go.
for the ladder. All right. The three of you who are running for the ladder, give me fleeing rolls. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Before you do that, you just saw a 19-year-old girl turn into a monster before you.
Yeah,
How about stability rolls? Tell me if you're
I'll
spending
spend a
points.
point on that.
I'll spend a point on
I'll
I
something.
didn't
spend a
declare it,
point
but
on stability.
I seem to be okay with it.
I got a 6.
I got a
I got a
5.
6 as well.
Spending a point.
All right.
5.
5.
5.
5. You.
Nothing about this bothered you. You guys love it.
We saw this coming a mile away.
I am also
Werewolf, nailed it.
I'm going to retreat back. I think we should both.
Actually, my thinking is this person has probably already killed 2 people. This is how it got out. In my mind, I still think that the people in this town deserve not to be shredded. So this is a line of defense here. And I'm staying.
Okay, I'm going to stand at the step or 2 behind you.
It's not like she has
To
any
the right.
control over whatever it is she
Quite
is.
true. That's why I don't want to just myrtleize her for no reason. But
So
if she
every-
gets through that door,
Every 30 days you're going to stand guard?
no, hopefully we can exorcise this demon before that next 30 days is up.
I'm going to pull that silver cross out.
Well, I mean, yeah, we kind of know what the Vane secret is, right?
I mean, do you have holy water? I mean, if it's the
Sure, I might
mark
have a
of the,
vial on me or so. Yeah.
this is the mark of the beast, so.
Here, bless this
Yeah, I'm all
canteen.
for that. If we could do that, I would like to do that. Heal her.
Actually, I could do that.
I have a canteen. Can you bless it real
I
quick?
can. I
We've
can
got a
bless that
syringe
canteen.
with cream
Fair enough.
stuffed in it.
Oh, we
That's
do.
true.
I just want to bring that up.
We have a what?
It's
Syringe.
rinse
Yo!
and brain stuff.
You've been so injection happy about this thing.
Shit, I've got
Just let us
morphine.
know a little
We could
bit.
injected her before she changed.
Well, we can
Go,
always.
go back in there.
It's always a plan B at the moment.
I think it'd be harder while she's.
All
I'll put
right.
it this way.
3 of you ran.
Yes.
I'm not tying up women anymore. Just so you know.
She was already tied up.
You're standing by the
Your
door.
job's been done.
You're backing up. You're backing up. Door swings open.
Shit.
Fire.
Fire.
Yeah.
He who runs slowest dies.
We got the bear trap set.
You got the bear trap set, and she comes rushing in. She's got pointy ears. She's got a big ol' canine-like jaw, glowing red eyes, fur covering her arms. Clothing is kind of torn, as expanded as her shape shifted. She's still about the same height, about 5'4", 5'5".
That's my ex-wife.
And she's charging in on you.
All right.
She easily leaps over the bear trap,
Oh, she saw it.
opens her jaw, and goes to take a chomp out of your arm as you let loose with the first shotgun blast.
Alright, well, I gotta use it here.
How many points were you spending?
I was spending 1, which
Okay.
gave me a 7.
All right. So she leaps over just as you let loose with the shotgun blast, and her jump made your blast go wild. And she chomps into your the forearm that you were using to brace the underside of the rifle, the shotgun, for 6 points of damage.
Cut his arm off.
Yeah,
Gotta cut his arm off.
gotta cut it off. Have a hacksaw.
Do it.
Shooting.
All right.
Spend a point. I got a 3,
All right. The shot goes wide.
and then I run.
All right. Give me a fleeing.
That I got a 6 on.
All right.
I have plenty of fire. I'm gonna shoot as well.
Are you spending points?
Yes.
All right.
3.
The shot also goes wide. It's really loud down here with all these shotgun
And
blasts
if a
going
fucking
off.
7 doesn't hit this thing, we're fucked.
I don't know what to do. I mean, I could spend more than 1 point. You spend more than 1 point? Is that what the...
You're up the ladder. You're up the ladder.
Yeah, I think you can
You're
spend
on the
as much
ladder.
as you want, as long as
Yeah.
you have the pool
You
for
can
it.
spend as many points as you have to spend.
I could have spent all 8 for that one shot.
She is
I will hand my cat up to you.
gnawing deeper
And I have my
into your
shotgun
arm.
to you. Use it.
You gonna take another shot?
I don't have. I mean, she's got me, so I have to. Yeah, I have to shoot her.
All right. Go ahead. Take the shot.
I got a 6 again.
That time you hit squarely. Give me the damage roll. Point blank.
5 on that one.
Plus 2, right?
Plus the point blank.
Plus the point blank, plus the shotgun blast.
Yeah.
So that's going to be 6. Huh. She's sitting there. She's got her jaw wrapped around your teeth, and you just level the shotgun right into the center of her head and let loose with the and her head explodes, and the jaw loosens.
Well done.
Cut his arm off now.
Yeah, we gotta cut your arm off, right?
You've been bitten.
Does she turn back to a... Like, well, wait.
Her head's gone.
The lower half of her head and the rest of her body turns back into a human 19 or 20-year-old girl.
We should probably leave
Horrible.
town.
Could have shot him.
Again.
Yeah, it's time to run.
Or should we go in the castle and see what's up? Just like murder hobo style.
Yes, go steal their shit.
Well, that is why we have to loot the body, right?
It's a castle. I'm sure they
I'll
got
still
some
there
stuff.
on that ladder and keep lookout.
And on,
So
I mean,
nobody else
Von
can get
Strahd
in this
lives
way.
here.
My
It's
my
all
arm is pretty
protected.
mangled at the moment.
Let's
Like,
first aid you.
I am
Maybe.
down to
Right? We'll watch it this side. We'll watch
Almost
the
into
ladder and make sure
negatives.
nobody gets in.
So let's first aid you. Spend a point. Got a 4.
Alright, get 4 points back.
I don't know if this will do any
I
good.
spent all my first aid last week.
That's what I want to hear.
What do we do? I'm just gonna sit there. What the hell do we do now? I think we should stop the beast, but we may have murdered.
The door is still open, by the way, into the castle.
Maybe
have
there's
one
more
Well,
beasts.
to be honest,
She
if
might
they
not be
put
the
her in
only
a
one.
cage and chained her up, they pretty much already knew. I'm guessing.
I'm just saying you were firing shotguns.
Yes, they're going to be coming down.
Maybe she had
Which
bad
means-
PMS.
She was calling for Leroy anyway, or whoever he was.
Which means either
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
we run and get the hell out of town as quick as possible, or we talk to them.
We killed your daughter. That's not gonna be a good conversation.
I have
Yeah.
pretty good reason to. It wasn't their daughter at that moment.
Well, we did break into their house.
And there's a priest now blessing this body and
We
giving
didn't
it
break
last
into
rites
their
when they come
house.
down
We broke
here.
into their crypt.
If
No,
my
it was
son
unlocked.
turned into a werewolf and tried to
We
kill
went-
you
we didn't
and
break
shot
into
his head
nothing.
off, I'd still be
We
mad.
walked in.
I understand they'd be mad at me.
He opened the door and it was open. We just found our way into here.
Morally, I don't think there's any right answer.
No, there's no good in this.
Let's just kill the whole family.
It's the only way out.
I'm just saying it might be in the rest of the family too. She was just the out of control one, so they kept her locked up.
I don't know what to do. Alright, I'm gonna defer to you guys.
You hear steps. You hear the sounds of somebody coming down the stairs.
Sounds
Reload.
of one somebody, or
I'm
is
gonna.
it multiple
I'm
somebodies?
definitely gonna reload.
You hear one somebody.
Reload.
One somebody.
Hey,
That's more.
what's going on down there?
You shout that?
Yeah.
Awesome.
The reverberations have finally ceased.
Yeah.
There's some screaming and moaning. I could smell blood. Number one, he's a werewolf now. Number two,
I do think
know
we should
that.
put a tourniquet on your arm and cut it off.
yeah.
We
I'm not
should.
going there.
Can I roll a cult?
We'll just
Do I know that's what happens?
Oh, you totally know that's what happens. You don't even have to spend.
I got a 6.
Yeah. If this was a werewolf, that's totally what's happening.
Father, you're gonna be a werewolf. We're gonna
Does just
If it was a word.
idle curiosity though?
Time
Does
for-
anyone want to spend a point of Cthulhu Mythos?
Yeah.
You do?
Hell yeah, I do.
That wasn't a werewolf. That was a ghoul.
That's even worse. Now you're a ghoul.
So see,
We gotta cut your hand off.
there's more werewolves. She was just out
No.
of control.
I don't know anything about ghouls.
That means we're probably murdering this whole family.
So he's wait. If that's a ghoul, then he's not going to be a werewolf,
He's not going to be a werewolf.
but he's going to be a ghoul. I don't know how
Well-
ghouls work.
I don't know if ghouls
Ghouls-
work either.
So ghouls are a
I know who the son
Chthonian
of Ghoul
race
is, but-
that live by eating dead bodies.
Oh, that makes sense.
That live by eating dead bodies.
Mm-hmm.
So why was
Oh,
she
so
eating
see, the
live
werewolf's the
people?
family is the werewolf, and they're bringing her the dead bodies. They're feeding her.
The canine features, and
Pigment's mom shit.
they can interbreed with humans. And
See, it is my ex-wife.
You and your ex-wife. How long were you
Yeah.
married?
21.
Looks like we're probably going to be
21
murdering the
years.
whole
Oh
family.
shit. Well, you would
Yeah.
know her.
Well, we'll self-defense them to death.
At least you're not going to be a werewolf.
But it's
Is
not,
there
it's
stand
not
and
terribly
shoot
contagious.
Is there stand your ground laws?
We didn't
in
cut it. As you were getting ready to cut his
In
arm off.
England,
Wait a
in the
minute.
countryside, after you just shot a noble?
So,
Yeah.
No, there aren't.
Yeah.
if you are bitten, mauled, or folded, spittled, and mutilated by a ghoul,
It is not contagious.
okay. All right, don't cut his arm off.
As soon as Brock started to cut it off.
Cut his
Wait,
body
wait,
off.
wait.
That was not a werewolf. It was a ghoul.
Hacks on hand. Are you sure?
I mean, you can if you want to.
It's time to leave.
Blood.
It is time to leave.
Do you think the rest of the family's ghouls though?
No.
Sprinkle it with holy
I
water
think
and see
they're
what
werewolves.
happens.
They're not.
They're
Well,
not-
I did perform last rites.
You're like,
Sprinkle
no,
it
they're
with
not.
holy water and see what
Draw
happens.
ghouls?
Yeah, that could be.
Nothing happens.
Yeah, it's a ghoul. If it was a werewolf, it would start burning. Or a vampire. At least that's what that says in Little Orphan Annie.
So, do you think this family are ghouls?
Yeah. The whole family is.
Yeah, definitely.
But what do ghouls normally turn on the full moon, or is that normal for ghouls?
That's
You've never heard of it before.
That's weird, right?
Maybe she's half werewolf, half ghoul.
I mean, do
Just
ghouls
like a-
change like
a
that and
werewolf
have the big
ghoul
claws and the
abomination.
hair? And I,
mean,
don't know what a ghoul
They don't change.
is.
They're always like that, aren't they?
Typically, but you're not sure about because you know they can
It's that
interbreed with
feeling.
humans.
What we also know is if the superstition was
And there's
right, was
footsteps
true,
coming.
that she was made a ghoul by a curse. So we don't necessarily know if she is following all the rules of like ghouldom.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't know if
But
that
they
was
will
her.
probably
We don't know
follow
if that was
all
her
the
that was
rules of
cursed.
the law. So which means we need to get the hell out of here.
So I want to try to recall something.
Footsteps coming down the stairs.
Yeah. Eloise Vane was who?
Lord Arthur Vane's daughter.
And what was the name of the woman who was cursed?
That was Lady Vane.
Evangeline Vane.
Okay. Gotcha.
And when she was cursed, they said that they were cursing her. What kind of a curse?
Mark of the Beast.
Mark of the Beast. Is a ghoul a beast?
Sure looked like one to you.
Yeah.
So maybe it was a literal mark of the beast. Or a mark of
So
the
here's the other
literal
thing:
beast.
the family's been protecting her and knows about these deaths.
Yep.
So
Which
they're
means that
guilty.
the constable is in on that.
What's that?
The constable is in on that.
You think he is?
The Lords, yeah. Come up with a story, get the heat off of this.
And who's gonna believe an Irishman anyway?
Exactly. That's why it's
do we
time to go.
do we need to go in and take care of the family? Is
I
that
think
evil?
so.
Is that evil, or is that
That's evil.
is that fixing the whole problem here? Because they were the ones
At the
letting
moment,
her
that's a
kill
bit of
people.
a moral
They're gonna
commentary.
keep feeding all the
Right.
tourists to this family.
Right.
They're just peasants. They
You
don't
hear a
matter.
voice say, "Eloise."
No, I'm okay. Go back upstairs.
Grab the bear trap. Let's go.
Do we hunt down every member of the extended Vane family and murder them also?
No, I think just what's in this castle is evil.
Kinda.
How do you know even how many's in here? Maybe there's only 2 more in here. I
There'll
don't
be a whole
know.
army of them.
There may be a whole army of them, but
I
there
think
may
we
only
should
be
shut the
2.
door.
Or we reload.
I already did.
Or we
She
shut the
made a
door,
point of
leave,
reloading.
and then go back through the next day as visitors and say, "Hey, what's up?" And see,
Don't mind the bite.
see how many people are in the castle.
If we leave, we just have to leave the town.
Yeah,
Because if
we
we're hanging
have
out with
to
shotguns,
get
and
the
they
hell
kill Eloise
out
with
of
half her head
Dodge.
missing, we're the first people that broke into the castle and murdered their daughter. Because there's no evidence of anything ghoul. So either we go all in and say the family knew about this and protect and is guilty for the murders, and we have to make them suffer, or
Yeah,
pay
then
for
the
it.
townspeople are going to be happy with us because we did it.
Here's somebody walking in the hallway outside the cell.
Oh God, they're coming closer.
What's that for?
That was my high or low roll. See if I was gonna.
Eloise!
exact God's
You hear
revenge.
fumbling keys.
We either run, or we kill everybody in the castle.
I say kill everybody in the castle.
I'm not really a killer.
I'm not either,
Mm.
but we're trying to save the town. We're trying to save the town. You guys are my brawn here, so you guys will
As
be doing
far
all
as
the
we
killing,
know, we just
obviously.
saved the
I have a
town.
shotgun. I'll give it somebody.
get out?
We have
Shut
no.
that door.
Well,
Door
well,
shut. Get
All
out.
right.
We have a cutting service. If
Cowards.
there's more maulings, we'll just come back and kill somebody else.
Although,
We
I
have
have a
no,
feeling there's something more in this castle.
Me too.
And now trying to go back would be.
Hard.
You don't want
I
to leave
also-
without the loot.
Yeah, exactly, hobo.
Well, it's just-
how do we confront?
We've come
the
this far,
father?
you guys. Why are you gonna back out?
Sorry, we just killed your daughter.
That's
That
the thing.
is not
You can't
going to work.
without. Yeah.
He's going to attack us, and we're going to kill him, and we're just going to kill him.
So let's just see if he knows about the secret door to get out.
Of course he does.
Should we s
Let's see what we can find out from him, if anything, before we kill him.
Did she have the chain still in her arm? Did she snap those chains?
Oh, yeah.
So they were on her. Okay.
I mean, it's
All right,
obvious.
This goes one or two ways. We
No,
either
you guys
go in
already
there,
closed the
wrath
door.
of God. Right?
Definitely, Wrath of God.
Like, honestly, wrath of God. Like, I'm
I'm
talking
giving you my
like
shotgun.
going
I'm
in
gonna
there.
push you into your, your chair.
I prefer the Wrath of Khan.
It's either Wrath of God or it's
like
Run Away.
Inquisition type stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
like
I'll tell you what. You're kind of out of time in the
Yeah, but we could think
situation,
about it.
but in the interest of the fact that we have 6 minutes left on a clock,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to let you guys think about this
Okay.
for the next week, and we can decide at the start of the next session how you chose to proceed. All right.
There's gonna be a
For
lot
those
of
watching
group
at home,
messaging going
if you
on.
want to drop a message on our Facebook page and tell us what you think they should do, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, I would too. This is the most fucked up Scooby-Doo episode ever.
oh, the night Dr. Alexander turned into a murder hobo. Been so good about not killing
Thanks
people.
for watching, folks.